Hey everyone, this is the Aquarius new moon video, February 9th, 2024. This is happening. I'm Deb Hotep, I'm the goddess astrologer and life coach. Excited to get into this. Pluto's in Aquarius, so a new moon in Aquarius when we have Pluto there with Uranus stationed, Uranus ruling this Pluto in Aquarius, ruling this Aquarius new moon stationed, meaning that it has stopped because it's turning direct. And so it's stationed direct. And when a planet stops, it is very intense. And so Pluto's already intensity. And then we have Uranus, the electric, the planet of electric, electricity, and it's just electric kind of energy, suddenness and disruption and technology. It's breakdown and breakthroughs. It's also, a positive provocation. It's electric in a great way as well. So it's intense. There's an intensity about this current Pluto and how it's affecting you. You may have it affecting you very little in your natal chart, but everyone's having it affect them in a general way with their natal chart, the house that it's went into, what it's activating, being in a new sign now. This is a second phase in Aquarius, and then it'll go into Aquarius for the final time for this 20-year transit, November 19th. So it is a big deal because outer planets don't change signs very often. It's a big deal when outer planets change. And we're going through this 3-year period where we have Pluto changing signs. No one alive has ever felt Pluto in Aquarius. We have then, Neptune changing signs. So this is the last full year of Neptune and Pisces. And then 2025, Neptune will go in and out of Pisces, and then we'll go into Aries, in and out of Pisces and Aries in 2025, and then go into Aries for a period of time until, I haven't looked at it. I don't know if it's 12 years or what, but it'll go into Aries in January 2026. So then we have Uranus moving into Gemini in 2026. So we have these bam, 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 outer planets moving and shifting signs, big new changes, cycles. It does affect us so much. Some of you are having huge Pluto happenings, transits, provocations, triggers, and so forth. So I had a trigger in my chart that it triggered Pluto, and it's like, whoo, it's huge. So for some people, this is going to be a huge transit because of how it's affecting your planets. For some people, it's not going to affect them as much or very little in that way. For some of you, it's squaring your planets, maybe even for 20 years. If you have a stellium, and Taurus or Scorpio, it's going to be squaring your planets for possibly 10 years or 15 years or maybe all 20. It could be a very long time where it's bam, 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 squaring all your planets. And a Pluto transit, Saturn return, you feel it 3 years before it's exact. For many people, it's a 3-year transit. So we're talking Pluto, the outermost planet. It can be typically astrologers won't say that it's 3 years, 5 years, what have you, but it can be a long transit. It's typically thought like it's 18 months before it's exact, but that is not what bears out an experience of working with clients in their charts. So this, for some of you, if you have, Pluto, a Leo stellium, you're going to have Pluto opposition to your planet sometime in this. If you have Pluto in Aquarius, you have Pluto blowing your stuff up, in conjunctions, new cycles. If you have, Aquarius rising, that's a huge evolutionary new cycle starting for you. And then, all of the planets have other aspects to Pluto. So some of you are wildly affected by it. And it's important to understand that, because then you can work with the evolution that's being wanted instead of being dragged along, which is not fun. And you can work with it as best as you can. If you'd like to book an astrology reading, you can do that at empoweredwomenrise.com, and you can get the podcast there and find all out about coaching and so forth. So let's go into this Aquarius new moon. It's happening at 20 degrees and 40 minutes. It is happening with Pluto here. At 0 degrees and Mercury in Aquarius. So February 5th, this new moon is on February 9th, 2024. It's at 4:59 p.m. That's 10:59 universal time. February 5th, Mercury gets out of Mercury hits the spot, the last spot that it comes out of yes, Mercury hits 0 degrees Aquarius, February 5th. So it's going to hit that spot. So there's a lot of clarity happening. There's a lot of direction. You know, Aquarius is the mind. It's also the zeitgeist. Fixed air is the zeitgeist. It's also vibration and frequency. So this is really provoking people's greater, bigger desires, like your humanitarian desires, your sacred activist within you. This is provoking the sacred activist within all of those of us that are awake or have been on the path or have a big calling, a big soul mission. This is activations. This is re-engagement. You know, if you got distracted, bringing you back to your soul mission, bringing you back to the thread of the tapestry that you have to give to humanity, the genius you're here to bring. And there's a lot of clarity and there's a lot of forward pushing. Aquarius is a forward sign. It's a future sign. If it's not moving, progressing forward, it feels like it's dying. Like it needs to move forward. And so it's this energy. It's also going to bring up huge rebellion and revolution and individuation and liberation and freedom. So Aquarius is very much the archetype of liberation, individuation. Individuation means thinking for yourself. And we have about 70% of the population that's kind of in the herd state, consensus status quo, programmed with the work, eat, sleep, entertainment cycle, programmed that you go to school, career, family, retirement, death, and they think that's what life is. And they're just like doing that. And then like kind of escapism or partying on the weekends. It's like, you know, it's just not, here's the thing. So many people are actually being liberated within themselves, but it's not externally, they're not showing it externally. And this is really a Uranus thing. They're not showing it externally because of the many different dynamics. What will people think? Will people accept me? Will I still be part of the group? All these types of dynamics. But they are actually becoming quite individuated within themselves. And if you have eyes to see it, you can look out to the world and see there's been a revolution of people awakening from narcissistic abuse and abusers. There's been a revolution of healing, a revolution of somatics and emotions and intuition on the planet. There's been a revolution of people going into their own work, their own businesses, and so forth. There's been a revolution of people who are self-modifying how they really always wanted to, because from 2020 to 2022, people were not going into the office. So they said, finally, I can color my hair, I can look the way I want or dress the way I want, and they're not going back. Also, there's a revolution of people staying home and not going back into the office. They're like, nope, I don't want to come back. And maybe the office is making them, you know, come in 2 days a week or something. But they're, you know, really like demanding to work from home and not have to go to a whole new location. And I'm not commuting, you know, 2 hours a day anymore. There has been these things ripple out to all of these other shifts. If you don't have to commute 2 hours a day anymore, 5 days a week, now what do you do with that 10 hours of time? Well, I can start a business, or I can do my passion project, or I can actually self-actualize, or get creative, or find out what I'm made of, or help people with community gardens, or do something for humanity, or get involved in politics or whatever it is. So there's so much change happening on the planet. If you have the eyes to see it, it is shifting. It is shifting. A lot of people keep saying, like, when they do this, who's the they? There's no government or no big thing like group or something that is like, we are the group, all of the individuals that make up the part of the population who is awakening, growing in consciousness, individuating, liberating ourselves from all these things that we think we're stuck in, whether it's a way of life or a routine or a schedule or a job or a type of lifestyle or a type of relationship. People, relationship diversity is blooming on the planet. People are realizing, I'm a Mars and Gemini. I want to have a plethora of lovers. I want to have a community of lovers versus, I want to have two lovers and have committed, non-monogamy, or committed to two committed partnerships at the same time, or whatever it is. People have all kinds of desires, different desires based on their Mars can be in any sign, and then that Mars in that sign can be in any house. You have 144 different ways Mars can show up. Well, you have 144 different ways minimum, we're talking minimum, of sexuality. And the same with Venus. Your Venus and your Mars is your sexuality. So then let's look at Venus, right? Same thing. So there's just relationship diversity. What kind of relationships do we want to have? No longer these old stereotypes of gender or humans or relationships or the way people have to do anything. People are doing the schooly life and making a school bus their home and going to tour gorgeous places in Canada and stepping outside of the oh, you have to have money to have an amazing experience of life. It's like, no, I wouldn't want to see resorts anyways. What is so great about a resort? You don't actually get the real experience of that country or that world and that environment, that place. You're cut away actually from the real land and the place and the people that actually live there and inhabit that world and the real experience of that country or city. I want to actually go experience the real living in that place. And people are doing the lives they really want. They're really creating the life they really want. They're realizing they can create the life they really want. They're becoming creators, getting out of the disempowerment, getting out of the programs, the victimhood. This is all happening. This is Uranus stationed here at 19 degrees during this new moon. New moons are a conjunction of the moon and sun. New moons are a new cycle. It's a visioning time. It's a wishing moon time. It's a setting into action. With this Aquarius moon, it's a believing. It's a just being very embracing your uniqueness, knowing your gifts and stepping into it. It's just a forward action. It's a very electric energy. It's an individuation energy. It's a liberation energy, liberating you from things you don't even know that have been imprisoning you. I mean, for example, I thought I couldn't travel because I had rabbits, and when I had traveled before, but it was $1,000 a month to have rabbit care. Well, I found somebody that could take them on a barter trade situation, and I was able to travel, and it was like I didn't even know. I mean, I don't know. I just had all these thoughts. Aquarius is your thoughts in your mind. And Aquarius is very complicated, very complex thinking, complicated. There's a difference between complex and complicated. So it's very complicated thinking, not necessarily complex thinking. And it's also very particular. Aquarius can be particular. And it is fixed air. So it can be very particular is just the best word for it. I lived with somebody with this kind of energy where it was their way. It was a set way. Otherwise they're going crazy. So it's just this energy of this the way our mind works and the way we're thinking. And so we might not even realize the things we've been thinking about our life, our lifestyle, about what we can and can't do, or how we feel like we're limited, or a lot of people keep saying they're stuck. Then we don't use the positive spectrum of Aquarius, the ingenuity and the inventiveness and the innovation to figure out a new way. And with Uranus being in Taurus, it's about resourcefulness, your resourcefulness to figure out a way. Limitation creates innovation. And this is the thing, is that being restricted with money, time, materials, privilege, resources, etc., actually forces you to be more innovative and to find the resourcefulness within you to do something, with just refusing to spend $1,000 on bunny care. I had to be resourceful to find a different type of situation. And so just Aquarius experimenting and just asking questions like what's possible, like is there a barter, is there a trade, is there someone that just wants to love up on some cuddle ups with some rabbits for a while, is there what are all the possibilities that maybe I've never even conceived or thought of or never knew existed, you know? Why am I just thinking that's just this narrow way of looking at things? Taurus has can have a very narrow way, a very fixed earth, fixed set way of doing life, thinking the possibilities are. So simultaneously, the full spectrum of Taurus could be like fixed set in your ways here, a very narrow way of seeing life. And yet Taurus is resourcefulness, the MacGyver of the zodiac, right? And same thing with Aquarius, you know, it's the spectrum. Aquarius can be like very particular, and then it can be just ingenious and innovative. It can be eccentric, or it could be unique, you know, and I'm kind of like putting high expression, high consciousness, or helpful expression on this side and unhelpful expression on this side, you know? And so within these archetypes, these functions of life, which I'm teaching all of this sign by sign in my 12-week online retreat called Healing Through the Zodiac, and go to empoweredwomenrise.com, click the banner at the top and find out more information of it. We're doing it in the style of sacred feminine women's circles, and it's just so beautiful. And we have just great women in the group, and you can just start attending the next session, and there's replays and there's a workbook, and it's just so amazing. It's so fun. It's so fun teaching this. We're having breakout rooms and having really great fun in this retreat. So I really encourage you to come join us. It should be $300. It's only $97. So if you want to learn the signs, practical application in your life, like I'm talking about here, you want to come and sign up now. So there's the spectrum, and Uranus being in Taurus, it's Uranus is disruption of all of the narrow ways and the fixed set ways that we get into these routines, these habits, usually based upon Taurus, sense of safety, security. Taurus is Maslow's hierarchy of needs: shelter, food, clothing, warmth, the basics, water, air, you know, just it's literally Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the basics. And so it can be that security, and you can be seeking a sense of security and safety that you don't even know you are, but Uranus is coming along and saying, no, we're not doing that anymore. And Uranus could be trauma, where it's causing traumatic circumstances for you to understand the resourcefulness within you so that you can actually claim your power. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is power, and it's our personal power. And so, you know, I'm just a different kind of astrologer. I don't say, oh, you know, Pluto is your, you know, is only impersonal to the generations. There's generational Pluto interpretation, and then there's Pluto in your chart. That is your Pluto. Pluto is power. It is your personal power. It is many things. And it is the integration of the shadow. And so the integration of the shadow of Aquarius is like trying to fit in rather than embracing your uniqueness. And this thinking where you're like stuck in particular and not open, and you know, being open to your ingenuity, to your own genius welling up within you. And so Uranus is in Taurus to break up. Like, why is Uranus in Taurus at the time of this new moon, at the time Pluto and Mercury are in Aquarius? Mercury is our mind. Mercury is the way we communicate, the way we think, the way we understand, perceive, conceptualize, etc. And you know, Mercury's in Aquarius, out of that Capricorn now, you know, having gone through that retrograde, having gone through that Capricorn new moon, this Leo full moon we just had, and now to this Aquarius new moon. Mercury has gotten all this information, talked to Pluto, talked to Venus, talked to Mars, and talked to Pluto's south node, and has gotten all of this understanding, rewiring, relooking, talking to your ghost, talking to digging through the past. Do I really want to keep this relationship or get rid of this relationship after all? What are we doing here? And now it's like bringing forward all of the understandings, clarities, possibilities. This is huge possibilities. What's possible? Very unique, very radical ideas, because we have to, the spectrum, we live in an oppositional universe. And so we have to go so radical sometimes to be able to swing back to something that will actually, a middle road that will actually be wildly effective. But it's through swinging to the extremes and swinging to the extremes that we understand the contrast, we understand this full spectrum, and are able to find the middle and have learned everything here and learned everything here. And so it's how we learn, it's how we grow. We can only evolve through experience. We only actually learn and create wisdom. Knowledge is not wisdom. And so we only learn through experience. We only create knowledge, we only create wisdom by experience, turning our knowledge into wisdom, along with humility. Along with humility is so important. Do not turn away the opportunity to get humility. And that's usually through embarrassment or humiliation is the typical ways. But do not turn away from that, because you will slide down the spiritual ladder. I guarantee you will slide down the spiritual / evolutionary ladder, and you'll get to come back in and repeat patterns even more intensely and severely. Like, don't give up your opportunities for humility. Don't turn away from it. Just soak up as hard as it is, soak up all those opportunities for humility, because it will be your evolution of your soul, and you get to always keep that. Even when you're gone from this life, the personality ego dies, the body dies and perishes, but your soul retains that wisdom, that evolution. So this is, you know, I just want to kind of look at some of the things I wanted to take back. You know, there's an intensity to this new moon. It's pushing us to move towards something, towards our future, towards our evolution as humanity, towards humanitarian ideals, towards radical ideas that'll shift up the status quo in this world, so that it keeps breaking it up, breaking it up, breaking it up. Uranus here is breaking up the status quo. And with Jupiter here nearing and that applying conjunction to Uranus, that's going to happen in April. That's really profound and is a new cycle starting and is very important, powerful. Jupiter's a magnifying glass, a magnifier. Jupiter is an increaser. It increases, and it's intensifying this breaking up of the old stuck ways humanity has lived. Taurus, the way we live, Taurus, our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our sense of security and safety, what we've based it upon, the way we've used the earth, used resources, all of this is being broken up and broken down to grow something new. And we really might not, I mean, I feel like if you have the eyes to see, you're seeing it, you can see it. And I kind of expressed a bunch of that earlier. But I think that there's way more happening than we can even know. Or, I mean, I feel like I understand so much of what's shifting that I can't necessarily put into words that, I mean, we're seeing the tectonic plates of our whole world changing, and the way people live and interact and just it's like a mishmash right now of so many different melting pot of different energies and thoughts and beliefs and ideas, and people waking up and consciousness expanding, and that, you know, it's up in the air. And, you know, and Aquarius is airspace. You know, it's like and it's not up in the air necessarily in a bad way. But that's what Uranus is kind of doing, is saying, like, you don't need to rely on the old ways to feel secure. Uranus is working and Jupiter's expanding this to help us understand that we only need security as an inside job. It's based upon emotions. That's why Pluto's north node is in Cancer. It's like humanity, come on, wake up, get some inner security and some emotional security. And there's people teaching that. That's what I teach. My clients come to me because they want to overcome self-doubt or imposter syndrome. They come to me because they want to make money in their business or start speaking in their business or putting themselves out there more, gaining invisibility, or they just want to do better time management or have a soulmate relationship or overcomes, narcissistic abuse. They come to me for all different reasons, but they will always leave with emotional mastery. They will always leave with the skill for the rest of their life of how to be emotionally empowered at the highest levels. That's just something every one of my clients gets out of working with me in one-to-one coaching, which if you've been wanting to change your life, if there's something that you really want to shift, you want to get a result in your life, if you have a dream you want to turn into reality, go to empoweredwomenrise.com and book a free discovery call with me today. So this is what the north node of Pluto is saying is like, come on, humanity, like go do this shit, like go do your emotions work, like go learn how to feel and release emotions. Emotions are just vibrations in your body. Emotions make it seem true, like the story's true. Like everything you want is on the other side of an emotion. Everything you don't want is because you don't want to feel that emotion. All the reasons why you escape is because of an emotion. It's sociopathic not to feel emotions. You want to feel emotions. You want to feel the full spectrum of human emotions. Anger is okay. It's not okay necessarily to take it out on somebody else, but it is a healthy, okay emotion. So is rage. So is jealousy. All of these emotions are perfectly normal human emotions. But if you don't know how to deal with it, it's creating a result in your life that you don't want to create. And then things add up and, on and on it goes. So this is what is being asked of us at this time. Saturn at the 7-degree mark is going to be coming out of shadow retrograde soon and is also the co-ruler of this new moon and is in Pisces. Why is Saturn in Pisces at the time that Pluto goes into Aquarius for the second phase and then for good in November? Why is Saturn in Pisces? Why is Neptune in Pisces when Pluto goes into Aquarius at the time of this new moon? Why? Neptune has been teaching us about truth and falsehood, about glamorization, the glamorization of materialism. Like people think like, oh, because I bought a bunch of clothes and shoes that, oh, I've got money and I'm amazing, I'm doing great. When they don't have any assets, no savings, no Bitcoin, no stock market, no knowledge of the, cash rich, asset poor, and actually not cash rich. They just live paycheck to paycheck and spend all their money, right? It's like it's truth from falsehood, this glamorization and chasing cars and money and houses and things. Have that stuff if you want it and like it, but not for status, not for power, not for all of that, because it's like that's completely concave. Like you are sliding down the spiritual evolutionary ladder. Like humanity is meant to come out of that. Is meant to come out of that. So you have to realize that there's 15% of the population, roughly, narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths. Let's say there's 15% of the population, roughly, that are those of us that are awakened, on the path, have a soul mission, have a purpose, trying to heal, trying to do the inner work, working towards doing great things for humanity, working on, our own evolutionary journey. And then there's this other, let's just say 60%, 70% of the population, let's say we're 20%. We just want to be a bigger percentage. Let's say there's really a lot of us here, 20% of 8 billion people, but this part of the population is swayable to the dark or to the light. And that's why it's so important for you to do your soul mission, get on your purpose, go do the hard things, let it be hard. Go do the hard things. I'm doing some hard things in my life and my business right now, very hard, but I'm doing them. And I refuse not to. I refuse to hold myself back. Fuck that. Like, refuse to hold yourself back. And that's why I will never be without a coach, because I need a coach to help me work through my own brain drama that's holding me back. And that's what I do with my clients. So it's like, we need the support of each other. We all are these individual threads within the whole tapestry that if if we don't have all of us doing our soul mission, doing our purpose, doing our work in the world, standing up, speaking, rebelling against the consensus status quo, saying, no, I'm not living that ridiculous life anymore. No, I'm not going to be programmed anymore. If you're not doing it, then we have a hole in our tarp. And when it rains, you get wet. Like, we need everybody, but no one person is the like king or queen on top of everybody else. And so this is, but the Leo, the opposite of Aquarius, we need it because we need that Leo archetype to be self-possessed, confident, put our work out in the world, bring our gifts to the world. Aquarius Leo axis is all about individuality, bringing your gifts to the world. And if you don't bring your gifts to the world, you don't bring your individual unique thread to the tapestry, then we don't have the whole world evolving, and we're all evolving to move towards fifth dimension. We're all evolving so humanity can come out of the darkness and the depravity, the human depravity, $34 billion child sex trafficking business on this planet. Why does that exist? Why are 85% of us, yes, we have the 15% narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths, but why are there other 85% of humans letting that stand? Why is everybody not like saying, we are not going to do one more thing until that is dismantled, period? Like, so maybe I can't affect change in the homeless population in my city directly. And it's also not my like gifts or my talents or whatever, but what I can do is work with women to help them be empowered at the highest levels, to overcome their imposter syndrome, to put their work out into the world, to make money as a woman, to reclaim our prosperity from the witch burning times, so-called witch. That's just a Christian theologian word that was made up. Like, a lot of women really have reclaimed it, so to speak, but I mean, I've never resonated with it. It's a Christian theologian word that was just made up, and 9 million women were killed as a land grab for our wealth and our power and our land. The witch burnings, it was a land grab for our prosperity as women. And now only 3 to 13% of women own land in the whole world. That's fucked up. This is, so this is my work in the world. What's your work in the world? What is your thread of the tapestry? And we need to end like some of the human depravity. We can have contrast, but we don't need the worst of human depravity to evolve. We can move that darkness to that, dark, that like depravity, just to contrast. And so the Leo is so important to understand in this new moon, is that the Aquarius is objective, stands back and observes and, examines, thinks about things. And the Leo is subjective and creates. It's the fire energy and is that enthusiasm. And, Aquarius can be cold in particular, or it can be also gregarious and upbeat and positive. But it's that you always need the opposite polarity within it to, bring that enthusiasm and that fun and play and joy and that ethereal light, that creation energy. Leo is creation. And so we need the opposite polarity. And so then going back to why is Neptune, in Pisces at this time, because it's all about truth and falsehood. Can we discern between the glamorization of materialism, the glamorization of depraved sexuality? Sexuality in this world is not sacred. It's not a celebration. Sexuality should be a celebration, but it's depraved in this world, and women are subjugated sexually in this world, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. Many women have woken up, and many women have not, and are still subjugated sexually when they think they're free. They're walking around, they think they're making decisions for themselves, but they're brainwashed. They don't understand they're not free. And women in porn are subjugated. You better believe it. So if you watch that, you are participating in women's suppression. End of story. There might be some tantric porn that could maybe be an exception that proves the rule, but just so you know, it's dark as fuck. And so this is the thing, is that we don't need porn to have sexuality. We can actually create healthy sexuality that is a celebration and brings the sacred back to our world in all of the areas, and eating and food and, in medicine and childcare and, families and business. People are doing B corporations. People are doing their soul mission, their sacred calling, versus a soulless corporation that doesn't give a fuck about people or humanity. That's way below the level of integrity 200 on the map of consciousness. The map of consciousness, if you Google it, if you don't happen to know, it's a logarithmic scale that is trying to map out consciousness. I think it's more mapping out frequency, but regardless, 200 is like anything below that line is really in the darkness of humanity, and it's the 200 is the level of integrity, and most corporations fall under this. So what is their motivation? It's not anything that's helpful for humanity, which would be, we're talking at least 300 and above. 300 is like neutrality. 540 is divine love or joy. It's like spiritual ecstasy, but it's like that divine love. 500, 499 is the top of reason. This just shows you that love, divine love, not, we're talking like romance or lust or infatuation, but real divine love makes logic at 499 irrelevant. And so we have to be aware of this with Aquarius, of this thinking, how we're thinking, how our mind works, how our mind is overactivated, or thinking thoughts that don't serve us or is not helping us. We need to be aware of the zeitgeist. Fixed air is the zeitgeist. So the spiritual zeitgeist, where a lot of people think that like doing crystals and a sound healing and that this is spirituality. That ain't fucking spirituality. Spirituality is doing the inner work. That's spirituality. Spirituality isn't crystals and fucking plant medicine and chanting and stuff. I'm not saying those things can't be part of your life. Spirituality is actually life. It is evolution. It is being on earth incarnated at all. But spirituality is doing the inner work to advance, to get to the spiritualized state of evolutionary condition. There's the herd consensus status quo state of evolutionary condition, then there's individuated, and then there's spiritualized. Spiritualized is like a Mother Teresa, a Joan of Arc, Saint Teresa of Avila, a Gandhi's. That's going to be the 4% of the population that's spiritualized. We just want to get more of the 60% of the population that's in the herd state, that's swayable by the light or the dark, over to more of an individuated state, so they can think for themselves and start seeing the programs awakening. And here's the thing, this is happening way more than it is obvious. The percentage of the population that's swayable is getting less and less and less. People are owning their power, and it's having a lot of repercussions in our world. People are angry, upset, won't move over, won't let you in traffic, won't give you space, like are triggered, or think that you're gonna, you're coming after them or attacking them, or can't communicate and can't work things out, can't share, and all these things. And this is a phase that we're going through as humanity, that we really want to be aware of this phase that we're going through, because it's just a phase, and we need to understand that it's just a symptom of people reclaiming their power. Pluto, that we need to be aware of and not have a reaction to that. We need to just understand it's just a natural, normal phase. When you reclaim your power, there's a lot of things that happen within that. Other people start to have a reaction to you claiming your power. You may claim your power a little bit more than was needed, and you're figuring it out, and you got to like go through the whole spectrum of a little bit and too intense and a little bit too little. For example, if you're putting a boundary up with somebody, like maybe you're stating it too aggressively, or maybe you kind of didn't state it at all one day, and so you're figuring out where that line is. So we're having these repercussions in the world right now, and we have Chiron and Aries. We have a whole world of people that don't feel like they're seen. Chiron and Aries doesn't feel like it's seen. It doesn't feel like anybody sees it, acknowledges it, knows it exists, cares about it, sees it. And so we have this natural acting out in the over the top way to be seen. Everything's about me, 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 me. It's like this is what we're tasked with healing. This is the current wound that is being pushed up and out and is up for grabs to heal. And we have this Chiron moving towards the North Node, and the North Node moving towards Chiron. The nodes move backwards. These are the nodes of the moon. So these are the lessons, the emotional lessons for humanity right now. And the emotional lessons of the autonomy, Aries, in the relationships, Libra. The tolerance for other people's views and opinions, Libra, versus people-pleasing, Libra. The not twisting yourself in a pretzel, but speaking your boundaries. Speaking doesn't mean people will respect your boundaries. It's up to you to uphold your boundaries. So somebody's not respecting your boundaries, then you have to leave. Like we can't make people do things. So you can't sit around and complain like they don't respect my boundaries. You put the boundary in place, and then if they don't do this, you do this. What are you going to do? But you need to state them. You need to ask for what you need. If you don't ask for what you need, you can never get what you need. You need to own your no and yes. Nobody knows how to own their no and yes. Some of the most talented psychologists, astrologers, healers, whatever you can think of, that like you would think that they would have the ability to decline, to say, no, this isn't for me. No, I don't want to. What if you just said, no, I don't want to? What if you just said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't like that. I don't want to do it. No. Oh my gosh. Like, what if everyone just one day just said, like, really said no? And you can do it nicely. But what if you're just like, everyone just said no when they really are a no? Like, wow, our world would change for the better. Wow. I mean, yes, there would be this kind of like phase that we would go through as everybody's adjusting to that. And like surprised and like, oh my God, like, okay. And like feeling their own, disappointment, or feeling their own, whatever their stuff is coming up. But if everybody knew how to deal with the stuff coming up, dealt with it, and everybody owned their no, wow, what a different world we'd have. So those of you that are doing it, you're doing the very thing that is helping humanity evolve. So, Venus just talked to the south node of Pluto, rather. I was looking at a chart where Juno and Lilith are conjunct, but I don't remember what the date was. But anyways, but at the time of this new moon, we have Lilith all about our power, all about powerlessness, and all about equality in relationships. In Virgo retrograde, making this opposition. It's like separating right now in retrograde. It's going to come back and hit that Saturn again. So it's hitting Saturn. And so it's in this dance, this conversation with Saturn, in other words. And so it's, Virgo is improvement, humility, it's service. And like, how can I be at service if someone's taking advantage of me? If I'm at service or I'm being healthy psychologically, but they're taking advantage of me and they're, like, well, then how does that work? These are the things that are all shifting, all the undercurrent type of things that are shifting within humanity right now, within the world soul. So this equality in relationships, and can we come from more compassion, Pisces, from a softness, a gentleness, from the sacred feminine, from being connected to emotions, our intuition? Can we listen to our intuition to make decisions instead of our mind, and in the complexities of our mind, making things complicated that are not complicated? Aquarius can make shit complicated. Aquarius can rebel because it's like, it's weird. Nobody does anything just to do it. I mean, I hate that when astrologers are like, oh, like, or anybody's like, oh, stop being a victim, or like, you're just rebelling to rebel. It's an Aquarian archetype or whatever it is. It's like, there's always a reason underneath. That's Scorpio. That's why Scorpio's a psychologist. There's always an underneath, and Pluto is Scorpio. Pluto is a psychologist. Pluto is a metaphysician. Pluto is asking us for the deep alchemical transformation. Pluto is churning up all the things from the underworld. Pluto is churning up all of the things from our deep subconscious psyches. And in Uranus, that's access to all the past lives and future lives, all the information in the quantum field, everything that's ever existed or that does exist. That's why dreams are so crazy right now. Technology, is having issues and things, or there's techno glitches a lot because Uranus is stationed. It's super intense. When a planet stations, it's super intense, and it rules this, right? And so, like this Pisces energy of Saturn, like, I think I just went on a couple tangents, my bad, but I don't remember what was my original tangent. Maybe it'll come back to me. But oh, like Scorpio being the psychologist of the zodiac, right? So it's like there's Scorpio wants to get to the root of the root of the root. And that's why Pluto is like drilling down to get to the root cause of something. Like, why do we keep treating the symptoms, people? Like, people love their problems. People fucking love their problems. They love complaining, but they don't actually want to do the deep inner work that's actually simple, easy, and quick. There's people that go into fucking psychotherapy for 10 years and never heal shit. And I help people heal that shit in 6 months. 6 months to 18 months, bam. Like, it should not take 3 years. We have the answers. I have my unique methods and techniques, but so it's birthing on the planet right now. So many people are waking up and understanding what we need to do to heal, and what we need to do to accomplish our wild, audacious dreams. When you go, like, here's the thing about self-development and healing are synonymous. And here's why self-development and healing are synonymous, is because when you go to, let's say, self-develop yourself and like get better at speaking on stages, let's say, you start doing Toastmasters or something like that, whatever, or you're doing an improv class, and you go to get better at that, all of a sudden, when you got bullied in 3rd grade, comes bubbling up, and there's pain and wounds there and hurts and all this stuff. So you have to heal that to be able to go get better at speaking on stages and be able to be confident and self-possessed, and to vulnerably self-express, which is Leo. Leo's the archetype of standing on stage, literally or metaphorically. So healing is synonymous with self-development. And so we have to stop looking at healing as like, oh, you had to have had this horrible thing happen, which probably did happen in a past life or this one. But it's also how you accomplish all your dreams. It's how you accomplish big things in this world. It's how you help people. It's how you do anything that you want to do. It's how you make your dreams into reality. And so this Saturn is making Saturn reality, very malleable and very much more wave than particle. It's an adjustment energy that's going on with reality at this time, that Pluto's went into Aquarius, that we're having this new moon, that we have Uranus and Jupiter here. I talked about that earlier. So we have this particular nodal axis, this particular Chiron. And so we have these, this recreating reality, recreating what reality is based upon. What are the structures that reality is based upon? Those structures being largely mental first. Everything that we see comes from a thought. You know, you had to have the thought first to like have a beautiful plant. You know, you had to go to think like, I want a beautiful plant. I want a pot of plants. So I have to go buy the plant, go buy the soil, I go buy the pot, and then I got to do the thing and put it all together. And now I have a beautiful potted plant. Or like a company is going to make their beautiful product. Well, they had the idea. And the idea could be this channeled idea, Uranus, Aquarius, like channeling from the quantum field, like the galactic energy coming down, like realize that you are infinite, infinity, that you are infinite. And so we want to be in control of our mind rather than our mind being puppeting us around. And while my clients come to me to work on accomplishing their goals and dreams, they all leave my coaching with the ability to manage their mind, think on deliberately, and to create the results they want to create in their life. And they learn how to you know, understand their thoughts and not be puppeted around by their own brain anymore. So it's so powerful to be empowered at the highest levels. You're creating your life doesn't mean you don't have difficulties and challenges, but you face them in a completely different way and you overcome them. You know, I love it when people have breakthroughs and they're just like, I'm an overcomer, you know, I overcome the things. So important things to understand about these times is that Aquarius is Uranus nervous system. If you have PTSD background or have had trauma, Uranus is also trauma. You want to be taking care of yourself at the highest levels. You want to learn nervous system how to regulate your nervous system, how to reprogram your nervous system. There's certain clients I have that come to me with wanting to accomplish their goals, but they have a trauma background or a PTSD background. And I teach them how to reprogram their nervous system to respond differently when they have the same stimulus or provocations, and learn how to take down, you know, flare-ups from possibly weeks and months to days or even hours, and to have a healthy nervous system, a thriving nervous system, how to understand their nervous system properly, and so forth. So if you have anything to do with your nervous system, be aware and be making sure you're taking care of it and that you know how to do that. And be more proactive. Also be aware of trauma, and because like if you already have had it and where are you at in that spectrum of the healing journey, this could be provoking it up. It could be provoking the mind to churn upon it, depending on what, you know, your placements are and different things happening. Also, this could be, you know, things happening, you know, for a reason ultimately, but sometimes that reason doesn't matter when we're in the midst of it, a car accident or whatever it is. So, you know, what's interesting is that we have this new moon that's just moved off, you know, it's ruled by Uranus, but it's square Uranus, and it's a separating square, you know, so it's in a new moon phase square. So it's an integrating psychological square that, you know, like I said, with Mercury here and this, you know, this separating square from this new moon to Uranus, like there is a lot of understandings, understanding the vision, the quest, knowing what you're meant to do, knowing what you have to do, and just kind of being in the fact that like, okay, it's hard to do what I got to do, but I got to do this. And I can't take it anymore. There's a lot of, I can't take it anymore of watching myself not accomplish my goals or not be empowered at the highest levels or not have what I want or not put my purpose out into the world, be doing my big purpose, my big mission, and so forth. right before this, Venus conjunct that Pluto south node and was talking to that south node of Pluto and squaring the south node. So there's been a lot of information that you've gotten leading up to this new moon about the wounds and about the hurts and about the old stuff and about what you want to leave behind and about what's no longer serving you. So, this new moon has this trine to the south node, really harmonic energy to move forward, have direction, have clarity. This is a powerful time, and I would capitalize on this like crazy. So I'm going to go into the sun sign horoscopes for all 12 signs. And these bi-monthly moon videos will always, I will, for now, at least, until I know something different, we'll be giving you the sun sign horoscopes, and these for free. So I'm so appreciative that you're here. Please throw a like on this video so it helps the algorithm so more people can find it. Really appreciate you being here so much. Please shoot this off in a text to a friend that might love it and could really get some benefit from this. Appreciate you sharing it. And if you subscribe, then you'll know when these videos come out. You won't have to hunt or hope it pops up. It'll just pop up in your feed and be there, or it'll be easily searchable. So you can get your sun sign horoscopes every new moon and full moon. And if you love the way I do astrology and the powerful conversations we're having here, you definitely want to come join us in the 12-week online retreat, Healing Through the Zodiac. You're never late, 'cause there's replays, and we're just it's just so fun. So we're doing it in the style of sacred feminine women's circles. And we're having breakout rooms, really deep bonds between the women that, are called to this container. And you will learn how to use the signs practically in your life. You will look at your own natal birth chart and understand what is going on in your charts with the 12 signs and how it's functioning, and how to help yourself get the results that you want, how to heal some of the hurts. And it's just so powerful. It's so amazing. So every time I do a container like this, women just have so much to say about it and are so grateful to have been in this container. So I hope you'll come join us, or just go get some more information on empoweredwomenrise.com. It's just click the banner at the top, Healing Through the Zodiac Retreat. And then if you'd like to book an astrology reading with me, you can do that at empoweredwomenrise.com. But I really highly encourage you to step into your future. Come book a free discovery call for one-to-one coaching for my 6-month coaching program called Alchemical Goddess. I help women change their life. Some women just want to, make their relationship better. Some women want to have better time management skills and create habits. Some women want to follow through on their decisions. And so it's like, that's what we work on. Some women do have some big healing they want to do, or they want to work with really healing PTSD. Some women really want to make more money in their business, or start putting themselves out there, or getting clients, etc. So whatever it is that you want to work on in your life, if you come into a free discovery call, you will absolutely get a transformation of clarity. It energizes you, it motivates you, it gives you direction, it helps you know the next step. You will leave that free call knowing your next step, knowing what the problem is and the solution is, and knowing what your next step is. So you will leave that call with that gift, whether you come into coaching or not. But I encourage you to really think about accomplishing what you're wanting to accomplish with coaching. I'll never not have a coach. It changed my life. It saved my life. And I will never not have a coach in my life. And it's why I do what I do. But I'm a different kind of coach. We do the astrology all throughout the container. So incredibly powerful. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you so much. Throw a like down on this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate any comments, what you want to see, what you're looking for more of, or what you liked, etc. Just questions or thoughts. I really appreciate your comments so much. And we'll get into the sun sign horoscopes, and I'll see all of you individually there. Make sure to watch your sun and your rising. Your rising is your natal birth chart. Your sun is your solar chart. Both of them have great information. Together, you really understand where this, this new moon is happening for you in your chart. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Aries, let's do this. The ruler, your ruler is Mars conjunct Venus in that Capricorn, that 10th house. This new moon's happening for you in your 11th house. Neptune and Saturn in your 12th. You are the pure sign of the zodiac. Everything's going to be correlated to its house. And so, 11th house, like bringing your gifts to the world. 11th house, like groups and friendships and collaboration. So if we're talking like your soulpreneurship in your business, this is a rebirth. This is a visioning. What do I want? This is a clearing out, a getting clear, a very like, here's the clear signal. Everything else must go. I got to get on the no train to everything that's actually important. That's not on my soul mission. There's a clarity here. This could be deep friendships birthing, maybe partners and collaborations in business, etc. And Mars loves to be in Capricorn. It's exalted there. It's happy there. It's productive and gets things done. And Venus, she came out of Sag, and she wants to kind of place structures in place and move things forward. And together, there's this structuring of all of the ideas coming in and all of the clarity that's coming in. There's an anchoring with Mars and Venus to anchor it. This square to the ruler, I can draw a line here, it'd be great. This square to the ruler, Aquarius, in your second house, you've had Jupiter and Aquarius here, wanting to liberate you from the old ways you made money, old ways of thinking about it, wanting to break up these ideas of your resourcefulness, your talents, wanting to activate your self-worth, upgrade your level, your level of self-worth and your self-value, help your own talents and abilities and bring that forward to humanity. And the other ruler in your 12th, activating your dreams. You want to pay attention to your dreams. Usually it's churning up subconscious material that needs to be worked through. Could be psychic and helpful, and also helping you to do something based on soul, on spirit, on transcendental values, connected to your creativity, connected to feminine flow, connected to emotions and intuition. Can you run your life, navigate your reality on your intuition, or are you always in your head? This new moon is definitely this birthing of more individuality and embracing your uniqueness and stop conforming so much, is really this call to action with Mars, your ruler, Mars in the 10th, all about your sacred calling, your soul mission, exalted in Capricorn, wanting to create partnerships, build the structures to grow that you can, the foundations for which you grow the thing upon, wanting to accomplish, wanting to reach for the next level of what you're capable of your own empowerment, of what you have the possibility to do. And so this is definitely huge activation. It's definitely wanting you to step into the next level and next upgrade of your awareness of your own gifts and your value, self-value, and what you have to bring to the world and why it's so important. You got the card, the now, and a protection message that's wanting you, there's really this message of getting out of your mind and into your heart, but into your intuition. What's your intuition say? What are you guided to? What's your inner knowing say? What's that right brain say? Really getting out of the spinning of thoughts, or the thoughts that aren't serving you, or thoughts that aren't helpful. You know, we can't ignore our thoughts because they're creating results. So you want to actually put your thoughts on paper, what's happening, what's going on, and how can you think deliberately to create the results that you want to create. What else wants to come forward for you, Aries? So change maker, make waves. Again, you know, it's that Mars ruling your sign in that 10th house, like wanting you to get on soul mission if you're not, get out of distractions if you got distracted and got off track for a minute, wanting you to do the hard things. You know, if talking to other humans is the hard thing, it's wanting you to talk to other humans. Your whole reading for this new moon is about collaborations, partnerships, discernment between, you know, who to partner with and not people pleasing and all of that, but like really knowing who to partner with, who not, but to get out of your isolation, to break free from this tendency to be alone a lot, isolate, be fine on your own. It's forcing you and really provoking and encouraging you into partnerships, collaborations, referral partners, great friendships, great groups of people, that all those dynamics spur more ingenuity, more big thinking, and it's wanting you to step into the change maker that you are, and to understand how important your work is in the world, what change it's rippling out. You know, it's the web of life. It's rippling something that is creating change in the whole world, that it is that important. You got the card rise and a protection message. There's something here about some resistance to getting on your path, some resistance to doing the work that you know you need to do. To do that, there's some, maybe, you know, maybe there's hurts or traumas, maybe there's just straight resistance, and that's what it is. Maybe it's something in the energetic plane. You know, you do have Saturn and Neptune in your 12th. You know, it could be something where you need to do some Reiki, and really I work with my clients in Reiki sessions to heal past life stuff. So I don't know anybody that's doing that, and it's incredibly powerful, and it's just it's so beautiful. So yeah, so it's wanting you to realize, to rise up. It's wanting you to realize your power, be empowered, get out of the disempowerment, which is really learning how to work with your thoughts and your emotions. So that's where our power is. We can't control circumstances, but we can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions. And are you the one controlling those, or are they controlling you? So important. You got this area, sending you lots of love. If you'd like to work with me in coaching, you can book a free discovery call on empoweredwomenrise.com. And that's also where you can find out about healing through the zodiac retreat and astrology readings, etc. So lots of love. Taurus, new moon for you, happening in that 10th house. What? Yeah, Pluto in your 10th. Mercury's in your 10th. Mercury's talked to Pluto and Venus and Mars. You get this new moon in your 10th, this new birthing, this new vision for the future, or in Aquarius, a clarification of the now that leads to the future. Okay, it's really a clarification of the now and the steps that need to be taken to lead to the future. So there's a lot of clarity, and all this last 2 weeks, there's been a blooming of clarity, clearness, clearing away the shrift that's just no longer needed. And Venus ruling your sign is in the 9th in Capricorn with Mars there, and just got done talking to Pluto's south node, just got done squaring the south node of the moon. And so we have Venus having gotten a lot of possibly past stuff coming up, churning up, you know, but anything that's coming up, it's arising to heal, it's arising to resolve, it's arising to be dealt with. So it's a positive thing while it may be a very hard and challenging thing. But understand, like Venus was just hanging out with Pluto South Node. We're talking about all your past lives. We're talking about where we've come from as humanity, the world, souls, shadow. And she just squared the South Node. So there's a psychological integration. There's this importance to really not let your mind be puppeting you around, and to be in the practice of it, that it's a practice, that it's a lifestyle. And this new moon wants to blow up your 10th house. It takes inner security and emotional security to do that. It takes that Leo ability to have vulnerable self-expression. It's very much that, authenticity requires vulnerability, and is vulnerability something that is it, is it an emotion that you can release? Or is it feeling like this big kind of monster thing? It's a monster, it's a miasma, it's like just cloud that took me over. Learning that skill of working with that. And to be able to self-express, and also dealing with like maybe resistance or things that are on the energetic psychic realm, so much is there about sacred calling, this clarity, things being cleaned out to really understand what the exact right steps are to be taking. And maybe quite the challenge, fear. Pluto is fear. Pluto's in your 10th. Fear of what you got to do to accomplish, your soul mission, or move through the next steps. Maybe, fear of the public opinion, fear of taking up space in this world, and what that might mean. For some of us, it's like the attacks or the jealousies or whatever. For others, it might be old wounds. So it's Pluto is this deep reclamation of power, is revealing of the secrets of what's been hidden. And the secret that's been hidden is your own greatness and what you're capable of. And realizing that Jupiter's in Taurus, Uranus is in your sign, Jupiter's in your sign, they're in your first house of identity, in your first house of appearance, how you look, how your body feels. They're in the first house of being that catalyst, that a personality, ego, like who am I, that I amness of ourselves. And how sometimes putting ourselves out there really requires that to be very clear and understood and solid. And other times we just have to do it whether we feel solid or not, right? Like we just have to jump. And when we jump, when we take action, it's powerful, because then we know what the next steps are. We know what works, what doesn't work, and then what step to take next. It's so powerful to take any actions, even if it's just a little small action. And that's a great thing to do, is take some small actions to get data. What worked, what didn't work, what's my next 3 steps. It's so powerful, and it creates clarity. So let's pull you some cards, Taurus. Jupiter there is expanding the drive towards getting out of isolation and moving towards understand, like acting upon your value, your self-value, and acting upon the resourcefulness and who you are, the ability of you to create your destiny, to accomplish goals, to make things happen. You got collaboration of souls and a protection message. So maybe there's some resistance here. Maybe there's some fear. Maybe there's some residual old stuff that needs to be cleared out of the way, that needs some healing, resolution. Maybe you're just in process on the journey with it, and you're adjusting right now, and you're starting to move towards collaboration, but there's some growing pains. There's some, like literally kids get like pains from their body growing. Like there's no real other explanation for why they hurt, but they just hurt. Like I remember like a lot of my growing pains from growing up. I remember just hurting. And my parents would always be like, oh, it's just growing pains. And that explanation helped to let it go and not make it a big problem. And so are you resistant to connecting and working with people? Why? And can you kind of put that on paper and get that clarity around it? And also some energetic medicine might be the perfect thing. I'll have a page on my website soon to book energetic medicine with me if you want to book the type of energetic medicine that I do. And you can always book a free connection call with me to just find out what's right for you, because I do a few different things. The main thing I do is there's a purpose is to heal completely from past life, this life, all this stuff. And I work with clients to heal on 4 planes. And if we don't heal on that plane, or if we only work there, then we won't heal completely. So we want to make sure to work with that. So follow through in a protection message again. And it's the thing about following through and making decisions and stuff, I don't ever encourage my clients to just make decisions willy-nilly, to only make decisions that they're actually going to follow through on, and then go about the work of following through. And that's a whole skill to develop. And we might have it in one area of our life, but not in another. It's a whole skill upon itself. We're not really taught that. Following through on your ideas, following through on your insights. Sometimes we get the spark of insight, but then we don't follow through on it. Sometimes we know exactly what we're meant to do, but we don't follow through on it. Maybe we're hesitating or procrastinating, and we're just not doing it right then at the time. And then, unfortunately, that time that we take to do it either creates anxiety or more mind spinning, or it causes us to lose the spark of that insight, of that intuition, of that knowing it, of that clarity of exactly what to do. So it's so important to stop, drop, and create, stop, drop, and do, and also it's like, we can take a bunch of decisions, but are we following through on the decisions we've made? Some of you, that's what it is. Some of you, it's what I was just talking about. Stop, drop, and create. Stop, drop, and take action. You got stop, drop, and ground. This is so important for us. With Tauruses, you got Pluto square. It's a Pluto square. So you got to realize you got a Pluto square, obviously we're talking about your natal chart, depending on the degrees of when that's affecting you, but we can add the layer of whole sign astrology or Hellenistic astrology, where it's just like it moves into that house, it's affecting you. A Pluto square could be happening years before it becomes exact. So with all of this Aquarius energy for all of humanity, it's important to stop, drop, and ground, like really seriously connect to the earth. Either do earthing, where you put your feet on the earth, drop anchor, to the earth, and let yourself do a little meditation, a little mindfulness, where you just stop and get into your body, into your breath, into the present moment. Drop anchor literally to the middle of the earth and feel yourself connected to the earth and that support, and connect to the celestial and feel yourself of being that Taurus, like that shape, that spherical shape, cylindrical shape, where the energy is consistently moving as a clear channel, the other Taurus. And or I do an energy grounding, however you ground, but be aware of that need to ground and how sometimes it can come about by wanting to eat. But root vegetables, roasted root vegetables, just the act of a Taurus making vegetables and peeling them and that sort of thing, that can be very grounding. Walking in the woods, being near trees and plant life and animals. So sending you so much love, Taurus. If you'd like to jump into a free discovery call to get that transformation of knowing what your problem is, what the solution is, and your exact next step, you can book that free call on empoweredwomenrise.com. Coaching has changed my life and saved my life. And if you'd like to come into Healing Through the Zodiac, you can find out all about it there as well. Astrology readings are there. Anything you want to know is right there on the website. Sending you lots of love. Please throw a like down on this video. Talk to you on the next video. Gemini, 9th house full moon for you. Pluto's in your 9th house. And that Mercury, you're ruled by Mercury, and it's, just got done talking to Pluto. It's in that ninth house as well, and is coming out of, it came out of Capricorn, it came out of shadow, then came out of Capricorn. So there's this clarity, there's this insight, there's this awareness, there's a clarification. And, this is this understanding. This might be activating you to do some traveling abroad. This might be activating for you to travel into new ideas and new spheres of understanding, thinking, study. This might be really provoking you to get onto your platform and really own your expertise and speak it to the world, teach the world, bring this pure information through, this pure intention. Sagittarius energy is this highest intention connected to that Aquarian, galactic, humanitarian, sacred activism, liberating you from old stuck places where there was a fear of stepping into your own talking points, your own having something to say, or really the fear of putting yourself out there, and really fear of owning that you have an important thread in the tapestry. If your thread's not in the tapestry, then there's a hole in the tarp and we get rained on. Everyone's thread is important, but no one's more important than the other. That's the bullshit that the overculture sells us, right? And so people just spend their whole life never putting their gift into the world and never finding out their greatness, their own greatness, never pushing the edge of their own greatness. And so this is really asking you to own your own expertise, that it's medicine, it's a balm for someone somewhere that needs to be expressed. Aquarius, Gemini is expression, communication, and perception, understanding. And that ninth house is all about higher understanding, higher wisdom, natural law, natural understanding, living, in concert with natural and divine law versus man-made rules and religions and dogmas and rule books. This could be publishing and writing your book. This could be expanding your awareness and consciousness in big ways, really waking up your consciousness to new wakings and understandings about yourself. But very much it is hugely mind activated. I really recommend meditation. I really recommend not overthinking, learning mind management, learning how to be in control of your mind rather than your mind being in control of you. And it's a new moon, it's a new vision, but this moon is such a clarification moon. It's such a, it's a direction. It's really giving us clarity for the exact steps ahead and the directions to take, and knowing what we know, knowing that we know what we know, and the challenge of that. With Pluto in the ninth, there's fear here, maybe fear of traveling abroad, or fear of stepping into your expertise, or fear of committing to studying something in depth, fear of speaking your voice, fear of your own ideas, being laughed at or misunderstood, etc. And so, Pluto is this reclamation of your power. You got to take your power back. And the way to, that's an easy thing to say, but how do you do it? The way that you do it is through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And that's exactly what I work with women in coaching. So, if you're interested in that, and definitely want to understand your problem, the solution, and your very next step, all for free in a discovery call, you can book that at empoweredwomenrise.com. I'm gonna pull you some cards. Please throw a like on this video. I really appreciate you. External validation. So this is a couple different things. It's asking you to stop getting external validation as the determinant of whether you do something or don't do it, or of approving of yourself. Like, it's really got to be an inside game. You have to approve of yourself inside. You have to value yourself inside. It doesn't, other people's approval will just become moot when you value yourself at the highest levels. It's nice to hear, and it can just help you kind of feel like your work's meaningful, or if it's having impact, or if you're spinning your wheels maybe in one direction than another. But it ultimately shouldn't be the ultimate barometer of anything. So also external validation, this could very much be like hearing your clients, hearing your audience out, understanding what people really respond to. There's sometimes when you're building a business, there's things you have to do to that are not like what you really want to do to get the numbers up, so that the people that really want the work that you love doing will find you. Like, they can't find you until the numbers are high enough and social media pushes you out there and things like that. And so sometimes, it's listening to the things that people are wanting that maybe aren't what you want to do, but you need to do that for a while. So there's many aspects to this. You are magic. This is really understanding the genius that you have within you, that it's original and unique and needs to be brought forward. There's people that maybe you're a weight loss coach. So, well, they abound out there, but why are you different? Or what is it about the way you speak, or your energy, or your approach, or your story, and how you got through it and had a transformation that is going to be helpful to people, that they can't hear it through any other person. They can't be helped through other people. They need you. They need your voice. They need your authenticity. They need your story. So understanding the magic that you have within you, the gifts that you bring, the transformation. One of my friends, just her voice is transformational. She has a transmission in her voice of compassion and love and understanding and caring that is very, very healing. And she gets this, she's constantly being given that feedback. And it's very, very true. It's like literally just her voice is this balm. And so like listening to her talk is so nurturing and nice and comforting. And so you never know completely all the magic that you have within you. And it can be just as simple as something that's just natural to you, that you take for granted. It just is what it is. But for others, it's huge. Feed your artist. So this is really about feeding your joy, making sure you're nourished from the inside, making sure you're inspired. With that Gemini energy, you need to pull in a lot of information, but you can go through burn and bust cycles where you pull in too much information, where it kind of throws you off your center and you need to integrate. And then you integrate and you've done that enough and you need information again, but maybe you're not going out there and getting the information again. Maybe you're not realizing that it's a cycle with Geminis. So 2 hemispheres, multiplicity, understand that Gemini has a cycle of gobbling up information or experiences or things, and then needing to integrate and give it time to work its magic. You don't want to do too little or too much of either one, because then you can lose your center. So feeding your artist, whatever that means for you, whether it's dance or martial arts or cooking class or sex, romance, dating, relationships, friendships, soulmate relationships, kindred relationships, walking, nature, skydiving, reading all kinds of books and information and watching videos and learning things, or just, for Gemini energy, taking in information. So is there anything else? I feel like there's some other message for Gemini that wants to come forward. Lead your metamorphosis. It's wanting you to be empowered around the changes and transformations, the things that you're being provoked to evolve on, grow through, to do in your business, to do in your life. It's wanting you to not be dragged by your hair there. It's wanting you to rather be, it's wanting you to rather be a co-creator and your own evolution and your own creation of your goals and accomplishments. Get out of that disempowerment and get into that co-creatorship with the universe. Realize the divine is on your side and that there's something that you came here to do. Sending you lots of love, Gemini. If you want to get into a free discovery call with me, understand what your problem, the solution is, and your next step, and get that energy of that clarity, you can book that at empoweredwomenrise.com. That's also where you can find out about the Healing Through the Zodiac retreat and astrology readings, etc. Please throw a like down in this video. Lots of love. Cancer. 8th house, new moon for you. Pluto's in your 8th. Mercury is there right now too. Having talked to Pluto, this moon rules your sign, and it's a new moon. It's a birthing, a vision, a wish. And, you know, with this Aquarius energy, it's this energy of clarity. There's a clarification. There's an understanding of what to leave behind, what's no longer on your path, what steps you need to take. And with Pluto there's it's challenging. It's pushing us to come out of our old comfortable safety zones, come out of our old ways. We thought we needed this to feel safe, to feel secure, come out of our old patterns and habits that are keeping us small, keeping us shrunken, not allowing us to shine at the highest levels. And square Uranus in your 11th house of friendships, relationships, groups, collaborations, your audience in your business. And so there is this new beginning, this new vision, but also there's just this acute clarity because Mercury's in Aquarius along with this new moon, and so is Pluto. And so there's just this, Mercury has talked to Mars and Venus and Pluto and come out of that shadow and then came out of Capricorn. And so it's been bringing us the waves upon waves of acute clarity. Now we got to act upon it. That Aquarius can want to just spin. The Cancer energy can want to stay safe. And it's really about understanding Cancer. The highest expression of it is all about inner security, emotional security, which means we got to feel and release emotions. We got to learn that. I teach a 4-step process to emotions. It changes my clients' lives. They learn emotional empowerment at the higher levels. Everything you want is on the other side of emotion. Everything you don't want is because of an emotion. And what if you weren't at the mercy of your emotions or repressing, stuffing, bulldozing over them? Huge, huge changing your life. Remember, Chiron's in your 10th. So there's wounding around the soul mission, the sacred calling, or there's like issues with being seen, getting out there, putting yourself out there, what other people will think, or there's just learning how to be an identity, to be an authentic voice out there, to initiate, to take action, to get on your mission. So lots of this is wanting us to move forward, and we have clarity. This has been an amazing, beginning of the year. Challenging, but amazing. Follow through. So it's in an upright position. It's wanting you to, it's just a nudge and a reminder to like not make decisions unless you're going to follow all the way through to completion. It's wanting you to get out of your head and take the steps. It's wanting you to follow through right away. When you get the insight or the intuition, bam, do it then, because otherwise it loses steam. It loses power to move you. It loses power to inspire you. It loses that energy. And the follow through is also talking about, make sure you stop, drop, and create when it's channeling through, when it's coming through, instead of putting it, oh, okay, I'll do that later, because we just lose the inspiration, the motivation, the passion. You want to do it now, do it in the moment, do it now, do it now. Don't think. Make sure you act, because you're bringing your magic to this world to help humanity change. You're really being activated, Cancer. So light in the unexpected places, like look for the silver lining, realize that what you think is, and this is a good lesson for all of us right now. I'll tell you, I kind of needed to see this card myself. Like, light in the unexpected, like there is this right now, like sometimes we just we assume or we base everything off of the past, but the past is what we hopefully are healing. And we want to base it upon what we want to create, the results we want to create, not base our current actions. And so we don't want to like be afraid of social situations because like, oh, this is what happened in the past, or, I don't find very many people. Finding one person is all you need. It's all you need. So, I've went to events where it's like, I don't know, I won't go again. I don't know why I went there, but I got a best friend there. I mean, are you kidding me? If I didn't go to that, wow, my life would be so different. So important. So you got Creator Earth and a protection message. It's really saying like there's something challenging about the tangible reality, making it real, schedules, routines, sleep issues. So really grounding, whether that's nature, bath, regular routine, meals, sleep. Good sleep hygiene is so important. Get off the TVs and the screens like an hour before bed. I mean, just doing the basics that really help yourself to be able to manifest, to create. Manifestation is because you're controlling your thoughts, feelings, and actions, because that's what creates something manifested into reality. We have this woo-woo notion of manifestation when actually, just to demystify it, it's just a result. A manifestation is just a result or an outcome, a goal accomplished, something, made real. I had the idea, this person had the idea for these oracle cards and she made them into tangible reality. This is a manifestation, but it didn't pop out of the ethers from nowhere. She took the actions, drew the pictures, wrote the story on the cards, made the numbers, talked to a publisher. Then she had to have a platform that brought it to the world so that people knew it was there to even purchase to begin with. So she had to market it, she had to talk to people, all that stuff. So there's something here about there's a resistance or some wounding or some issues around making it real, taking the action steps. This earth energy acts, it works, it's a worker, it's a Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. It's a workhorse. It's working, it's making things happen, it's manual labor, even it's your day-to-day work and routine, it's your accomplishment and creating a business or creating something big and accomplishing that. So definitely there's something going on there. All right, Cancer. If you would like to book a clarity call, a discovery call with me and get that clarity, understand exactly what your next step is, understand what the real problem is. Usually we think it's a problem that's not the real problem and what that solution is, and understand your exact next step, getting that clarity that really gives you that motivation and energy. You can book that free discovery call on empoweredwomenrise.com. And that's for coaching with me for 6 months. And you will get the gift of that, whether you come into coaching or not. But I'll tell you, coaching saved my life and it changed my life, and I'll never live without coaching ever again in my life. And I'm a coach, it's both, right? So many people out there call themselves a coach, but they're not getting coached. No. We all have blind spots. We all need help managing our brain. Yeah, we all need help with this change into the intuitive emotions species that we're changing into. So sending you lots of love. Please throw a like down on this video if you'd like to find out about healing through the zodiac or astrology readings. It's all over at empoweredwomenrise.com. Lots of love. Leo, this is 7th house, new moon for you. Pluto's in your 7th. Relationships, tolerance of other people's views, discernment, justice, fairness. Libra, 7th house is about the extremes, about experiencing the extremes to find the middle. People always talk about balance. It doesn't exist. You don't brush your teeth as much as you sleep. It's about experiencing extremes to where a natural middle or balance just exists suddenly because you understand the whole spectrum. So that's a nice Pluto evolutionary journey for you for 20 years. And so, new moon here. New moon is really highly activated with just giving us clarity. New moons are new visioning, new goals, our visions, the seed planted on our visions. And so a couple of days after the new moon, usually we start to feel better because we're coming off that balsamic. Usually the couple of days leading up to new moon and the actual new moon and maybe the day after can be a little tough. The moon's not visible, it's dark. We can't see yet. We don't see the sprouting up. The ruler of your sign is, this is making this new moon conjunct the moon. Purpose, destiny, mission. So it's so much about this seed is planted in relationships. There's a blooming happening. What's new? Is there new relationships in your life literally, or is it the metaphorical whole of relationships are shifting, changing, have changed, something's birthing here? Very much, related to everything, all of your relationships, business, personal, romantic, friendships, etc. And with Pluto here, there's massive transformation being wanted. With Mercury here, we're getting huge clarification and understandings and reveals. You just understand so much more than what you did a month ago, for sure, and probably have a very clear direction and insight. There's this square to Uranus ruling this in your 10th, so all about business. So it has so much to do about impact in the world, the relationships in your business, like your audience, and this is breaking up, all the stuck, narrow ways of looking at your impact, your business, your soul mission, how you bring your gifts to the world, how you function in the world, and how you're showing up. Are you showing up in this best version of yourself? Are you showing up healed and whole? Are you helping humanity heal? Yeah, feed your artist, making sure you definitely are feeding your light, feeding your joy, grounding, doing the things that nurture you, that help keep your sparks lit. You are magic, really understanding the gifts that you bring to this world, how important it is. Let yourself shine. Don't hide. And Leo energy is that vulnerable self-expression. To be authentic, we must be vulnerable. Leo can hide behind all of the characters it plays, so it's really important to go towards vulnerability. Vulnerable is just an emotion that you can release in like 5 minutes. I teach my clients that it's no big deal. But so often we think vulnerable is we conflate it with weakness, or think that we make it mean something it doesn't mean. Maybe there is something to detangle there, which that's what we do in coaching. Magic happens when you most expect it. So are you waiting for the other shoe to drop? Are you complaining? Are you not releasing frustration? So that frustration always makes us complain in the A line. Are you not aware of believing? And that sun energy, that Leo energy, is this like willing it to be, just creating feverishly, just understanding creation, understanding the consistency, the fun, the beauty of it, and all of that. And so it's so much of really kind of willing it, like believing, like where are your beliefs at it? If you're taking all the actions, then it's a belief problem. If or maybe you're not dealing with your emotions. So making sure that you are really believing that what you want to create is possible, seeing it in your mind's eye. So sending you so much love, Leo. If you'd like to work with us and join us in the Healing Through the Zodiac retreat for women, you can come to empoweredwomenrise.com, click the banner for more information. If you've been wanting to change your life with coaching, come into a free discovery call. You will find out what the real problem is, what the solution is, and what your next step is. And you'll have that clarity all for free. So much fun. My 6-month coaching container will change your life. And that's all over at empoweredwomenrise.com. And if you can throw a like down this video, lots of love till next time. Virgo, this is a sixth house new moon for you. It's your correlated house. Pluto's in your sixth. And Mercury has, gotten out of shadow, gotten out of Capricorn, now in Aquarius. It's having the reveals of clarity, the clarification, clarifying the vision. This is a new moon, all about vision, all about moving forward. A wishing moon. This moon is a clarification moon, understanding what's not needed anymore, your next steps, exactly what to do, but can be overthinking. And that Virgo already is ruled by Mercury as an analytical Mercury, and analyzes with a purpose to and we just did the Virgo class in Healing Through the Zodiac, so you can definitely come in and watch the replay, and then you can be there live for the next classes. It's so powerful and profound. I've gotten huge testimonials already, comments about what people got out of the class are like mind blown. I don't teach astrology like anyone else does, and I teach it for your practical application in your life. And so really understanding, this Mercury it's your mutable earth sign, but you are ruled by Mercury. It's this analyzing function to improve and to gain humility. Virgo is so much about humility. We don't ever want to turn away any opportunity for humility. Otherwise, we slide down into darkness. We can become dark. We can just take dark actions, or we can just slide down the spiritual ladder and de-evolve, which really don't want to be repeating the same shit next lifetime. So there is this Mercury rules your sign here, in a balsamic and applying conjunction to the sun, moving towards this new moon. So it's just got done talking to Pluto. Pluto's in your sixth house. This is all about your day-to-day life, your lifestyle, how you want to live. You actually get to decide. A lot of Virgo heavy people don't think they get to decide their lifestyle. They don't think they get to choose it. They think they're at the mercy of their circumstances. You get to choose your routine. You get to choose your schedule. We have this much schedule, 168 hours a week. We will fill it up, but you got to be conscious about it. What do you want in it? What do you not want in it? You don't have to do anything. You have to realize you get to choose your lifestyle. This is also health. This is also mentorship and apprenticeships, so this is just your day-to-day workaday life. And also like guilt, do you know how to release guilt? Most people, when I ask them if they know how to release an emotion, they don't. They tell me they nature, meditation, yoga. No, there's actual techniques to release emotions very quickly and for good, for real. So you really want to learn that skill, because you don't want to carry guilt around. Guilt is one of the lowest emotions on the emotional scale. It keeps us shrunk. It keeps us really low frequency. You don't want to be stuck in guilt. So this new moon is really an activation of what is the lifestyle you want. You've got an acute clarity. Now you just have to believe you get to do it, Virgo. Now you just have to, you're good at taking actions and implementation. But you have to believe that you get to do it, and you cut the cords of doubt. Of course you're going to feel scared. Anything new is unfamiliar. That's always uncomfortable, but it's just it's a misnomer. It's a false fear, this lack of safety thing and security thing. It doesn't exist. Everybody thinks like, oh, the corporate job is safety. No, not until you get laid off. Surprise. Everybody thinks that like they're walking down the street and they're on the sidewalk and, they're like safe and they're looking and everything. And a golf ball comes and gives them a concussion. Surprise. Like there is no safety. It doesn't exist. It exists within you being safe within what happens to you. There's just you being safe within whatever happens with you. And that comes through emotional empowerment. Let's pull you another card, Virgo. Creator air. It's really wanting you to get a handle on your mind, learn how to do pen to paper, thought work. so that you can be in the driver's seat of your mind instead of your mind puppeting you around. It's also wanting you to realize all your brilliant ideas that you have the ability to channel through you, the magic and the ideas that want to come through. And realizing, you know, the gift, realizing what are your ideas about life and all your thoughts and your ideologies and all that stuff, you know, is it holding you back? Is it serving you? All of my clients, they come to accomplish a goal, which they do, but they learn how to manage their brain and be the one in control of their own mind. So this is really wanting you to get a handle of over your own thinking and learn that skill, thinking deliberately, not letting your thoughts puppet you around and drive you crazy. You know, our thoughts create results. So it's, you know, look at the results you're creating in your life. Creator error. I'm going to get control over those thoughts. One step ahead is all you need. A lot of times we use our future vision against our now ability to take high value action. So you really want to hold your vision in place, yes, but take one little step and another little step, another little step. You can let go of all the little pieces to be really powerful and take powerful, productive action, to take really high value action right now in the moment. All right, Virgo, I'm sending you so much love. Throw a like down this video. I really appreciate it. If you are interested in coming into a free discovery call with me for my 6-month coaching program, you will absolutely get clarity and the energy and motivation from that. And you will absolutely understand your problem, the solution, and the next step to take. So it's all free over at empoweredwomenrise.com. You can book that free discovery call or find out about the Healing to the Zodiac retreat that is amazingly powerful. You can find out all about that clicking the banner at the top. Sending you lots of love until next time. Libra. New moon for you in this 5th house. Pluto's in your 5th house. 5th house, all about taking your will to create your destiny, creating your destiny, creative self-actualization, vulnerable self-expression, not hiding behind a mask, but rather, and being that chameleon, but rather, or that politician, but rather being that, that authentic expression of your unique genius. And, you know, Aquarius can be the eccentric, like the mad genius, and that can be in just the most wonderful ways, So, new moons are always a birthing, a seed being planted, but this new moon is a clarification. Mercury here has come out of shadow and then out of Capricorn into Aquarius and talked to Pluto. There's so much clarity. There's so much very clear direction. You know exactly what to do and the steps to take, but Pluto's here, so that it can be challenging. It can be really pushing you to evolve to do it. This is a huge evolution in the 5th house. I mean, you know, huge evolution. The ruler of your sign is in Capricorn, conjunct Mars, just made a square to the south node in your sign, and just conjunct that south node of Pluto. So a lot of past and, you know, difficulty could be churning up, a lot of the trauma or old wounds or what have you, but we've moved through that now, and there's a clarity and there's a direction forward. And you know, Venus is in the sign of structuring, and it's in your 4th house of emotional security. It's also in this house of home and family, so there might be a lot of stuff around home and family and kids and things that you're doing and got to do, and a lot of stuff just is happening, and new structures being put in place, new schedules, and restructuring, understanding, and there's just all this understanding. But be aware of the mind being overactive, and wanting to kind of ruminate rather than make a move. You know, a little action will always tell you what works, what doesn't work, and the next step to take, Libra. So really powerful fifth house, all about children, romance. This could be reigniting the romance in your relationship and that spark of attraction and fun and intimacy and connection. This could be playfulness, enthusiasm, and joy. And it's really wanting to be in the lighter side of life, but Pluto's there. um, so um, Pluto wants for the best for us ultimately, but it is challenging. So it's challenging, it's really suggesting that it is challenging for you to move towards your desired results, your goals, but you can do it. It's really forcing some big evolution for you. Let it be hard. That's my advice. Let it be hard and feel your feelings. Venus is in the fourth. Feel your feelings. Let it be hard. You got this, Libra. Okay, got a card that flew out. The spark of creation. So the spark of creation. It wants you to take actions, get the data, take actions, get the data. You'll know when you take actions, you can evaluate and understand what was the right action to take, if it worked, if it's a micro pivot, you need to change something. The distraction of shiny things, be aware of this. The mind can be super busy, all of this Aquarius energy. You are an air sign, Aquarius, an air sign. There's just so much of this mind activation. The world has it activated. Definitely ground yourself, get grounded. It's so important to get grounded. Do the things that you know that ground you. Just know it's gonna all be okay. The things that you're worrying about, it's gonna all be okay. It's gonna work out. You're okay. It just can feel really fucking hard, and that's okay. And so the distraction of shiny things can be the way that you're trying to cope and escape the things you know you need to do. But doing those things are what is going to give you the inspiration, motivation, and energy to do the next things and next things. And it's how you're going to finally accomplish your goal. Like, move towards that goal, because when you move towards that goal and you accomplish that goal, you will know you can accomplish anything. It's gonna, this accomplishing this goal is going to change something huge for you. It's not just going to be accomplishing any goal. It's going to completely revolutionize everything inside of you, understanding that like you can accomplish anything that you choose to truly go after and create. So this is, not a small thing, and you don't want to let yourself cope or escape or, be distracted by all the different things. You want to focus to fruition, step by step by step. You got sacred mirror, what is showing itself to you by the people that are coming to you, the things that are happening, what is, and you got it in a protection message that maybe there's something you're resisting seeing and looking at the truth within yourself, and getting real about it. And when you do that, it's going to help you to move forward really easily. It can be hard to see where you're being a victim, or, not doing the inner work, or trying to be an escapism, or just, afraid to take the step, afraid to do the thing. And when you can identify that that's what you're doing, then you can overcome it. So I'm gonna pull you one more card, Libra. Light and the unexpected. It's wanting you to realize that we just have assumptions. We base things off of what we've experienced in the past. There might be one good thing about it, but that one good thing was worth it. So it's wanting you to know that that one person you talk to and you go to an event could be worth everything. So make sure that you go for it. All right, sending you lots of love. If you'd like to get into a free discovery call, you will find out what your real problem is, the solution, and know the next step. You'll get that clarity, the energy and motivation that comes with getting clarity. And it is for free. You can book that at empoweredwomenrise.com. It's a free discovery call for my 6-month coaching program. And you can find out about healing through the zodiac there. It's so much fun. If you love the way I work with astrology, you will love it. It's a sacred feminine style of container, and the women in it are just amazing humans. And so I hope to see you there. You can find out everything at empoweredwomenrise.com. Throw a like down this video. See you next time, Libra. Scorpio, fourth house. This is really planting a seed and has brought immense clarification, is pushing huge evolution in your emotional body, in your emotional empowerment, in your emotional world, your sense of security, home, family, everything going on there, your sense of rootedness, feeling secure and safe. There's a seed planted here, and there's also a lot of clarity. Are you feeling your emotions? Do you know how to identify your emotions, feel them, and release them? You may have a lot of emotions and be emotional, but that's really different than actually being able to feel and release emotions. Most people, I mean, everyone, until I've taught them how to release emotions, when I asked them if they knew how to release emotions, they give me answers like meditation and walking and yoga. And that's not how you release emotions. I'm not saying it can't help you, but like, if you have to do an hour-long yoga class to release every single emotion you feel, you can't live life. I'm talking about a 5-minute, emotional releasing technique that will empower you and get you huge transformation. Emotions have information for us. They have power for us. They have evolution for us. That's where our wisdom is. It's the communication of our soul. So you absolutely don't want to push that away. And your Pluto's in your fourth. It's, this is like a revolution of your emotional body, of your emotional empowerment. This is pushing inner emotional security, and most people are not doing this in life. I don't even think it's 1% in the population. And so if everybody did this, wow, we would have, we would have so much healing on the planet, so much wisdom on the planet, so less fighting, strife, injustice, etc., etc. It's all of the darkness we have in the world is because people don't feel their emotions. They repress them, suppress them, push them away, push them down, won't feel them, etc. Everything you want is on the other side of an emotion. And there's so much empowerment, like you reclaim your power on the other side of learning how to release an emotion properly. New moon's always about a new vision, new seed. The ruler of your sign is newly in Aquarius here until September, and then we'll go back into Aquarius in November. And so, this is electric, about individuation and about this liberation from old stuck ways of thinking, liberation from old patterns of behavior, liberation from suppressing your emotions, liberation from not owning your no, or standing up for yourself, or speaking your boundaries, or always being avoidant, always never like telling somebody how you really feel, being manipulative and not just being real, being inauthentic, or hiding, or shrinking, or not putting yourself out there. This is liberation from all of that, but it means huge evolution. And this moon is square Uranus and your 7th house, involving your relationships. There's some sort of liberation here from either people pleasing in relationships, or being stuck in like they have to be a certain way, or relationships that were abusive or don't serve you, or that you were accepting breadcrumbs in relationships, perhaps. Maybe you weren't showing up authentic or like your full self, or really, maybe you're withholding. You've definitely gotten clarity. You've definitely gotten clarity. Definitely know the vision. You definitely know the next steps. Sometimes we can be hurt, and that's why we don't show up. It's why we manipulate. It's why we escape or avoid or do the things we do. And it's because we're afraid to be hurt. We're afraid of betrayal or abandonment. So we do it first. Or we've experienced that before. But Aquarius is about the future. It's about liberation. It's about being liberated at the highest levels, meaning that you don't have any cages that you're living inside made of thoughts, made of have tos, supposed tos, got tos, this is the way it is. All these perceptions that don't serve you. And so it's huge, huge. Fourth house, all about, if we don't have inner security, we don't have anything else. That's the thing. Everything else is based on a house, made out of sand, or made out of hay, or something that blows away in the wind, like the slightest little wind and it blows away. It's just like we have no foundation. We don't have emotional security. We have no foundation of which to build everything else upon. So huge. One of my astrologer friends always talks about Cancer, this idea of it being the something Monday, I can't remember what the hell. Not the world soul, but something. Well, anyways, but it's like being the idea of like almost being the first sign, being the center, the most important, or the root sign. Like if we don't have emotional security, we don't have anything. We don't have any foundation, any rootedness, and anything we build just topples over, or is infected, or is has holes in it, has root rot, right? So this is what the evolutionary, your evolutionary growth edge, this is what you're being asked and pushed to do. And it's not fucking easy. That's okay to be real about. It's okay to be real about that. Truly, truly, truly. So, there's definitely some seed planted here. And the seed is, gonna grow in a couple of years. So soul on fire. It's really wanting you to realize like that energy, that spark, that light, that it lights up other people. It sparks other people's matches. It lights up the world. It's this energy that helps others to realize or make connections or understand their gifts or believe in themselves or feel loved or feel anchored or know truth or find some insight or be illuminated in some way or raise their frequency. Soul on fire, when we're high frequency, we raise other people's frequency. Just think about if all of the world felt their emotions, didn't blame other people, owned their no, and if they cleared their energy of all the like negative energies and shit, like, oh my God, we would have a whole different world. Like if we just did that for one day, this world would radically be unrecognizable. Be that soul on fire. Remember like what you're here to do, your soul mission, and the power of that. What card wants to come up? You, the muse, Scorpio. So realizing the inspiration that you have within you, and that you have to self-inspire, and you have to feed your inspiration, feed your intellectual curiosity, inspire yourself, lift yourself up. It's remembering that you're the muse for other people. You're the one that sparks their inspiration. You just like keep getting these cards that are really wanting you to understand how important it is to bring your gifts to the world, how important it is to put yourself out there, how important it is to take action. Don't hold back. Stop, putting it off. Don't procrastinate. Like you are a thread in the tapestry of all of humanity evolving. And if you don't, weave your magic into the world, then the tarp has a hole in it and you get wet. It's like we need your unique thread. Overthinking will spoil the magic. It's everybody's problem in humanity. We need to feel our emotions, which releases the story in the mind. We need to be deliberate thinkers, think on purpose, realize our thoughts, question all of our thoughts, question our brain, change that default, patterns, reprogram our subconscious mind. It's all the work I do with my clients. And we do it because while we work to accomplish the goals that they want to accomplish. So it's just a byproduct of accomplishing the goals that they want. So powerful. If you've been wanting to change your life, accomplish a goal, to make a new habit, to change something in your life, come into a free discovery call. And you can do that at empoweredwomenrise.com for my 6-month coaching program. In that free call, you will absolutely get a transformation of clarity, which gives you energy and motivation. You'll understand your real problem, the solution, and the very next step to take. So overthinking can spoil the magic. in a protection message. So it's saying you're not managing your brain, you're not questioning your thoughts, you're believing all the thoughts. Thoughts aren't true. There's sentences in your mind, they're not true. And when you buy into them, you're not being that observer self that can kind of be the manager of like all of our different selves inside of us, our teenage self, our wounded self, our hurt self, our one that wants to escape, or one that wants to rebel. And it's just like, oh, it's like, be the observer of all the thoughts, and are those thoughts creating the results you want, or are they afraid and avoidant? What's happening in there? Follow through. A lot of the signs have been getting this, follow through is the obvious one. Follow through to completion. This is a skill that one must develop. It's something I end up helping a lot of clients develop, that skill. We all need it in certain areas. We have it in others, but not in others. We can follow through on brushing our teeth, but not on like writing a book. So, it's a skill that we all need to develop, focusing to fruition. But follow through is also, this card is also wanting you to understand that if you get that divine spark, stop, drop, and create, do it in the moment, because that's when there's energy, that's when there's power, that's when there's magic. So, you got this card of like overthinking can spoil the magic. Like, it's like you get the inspiration, the spark, soul on fire, soul on fire, you get the spark, you have all that download, the magic, the inspiration comes, you are the muse, you are the like mime, and doing the performance. Follow through on it, don't overthink, let that go. But it's in a protection message saying maybe you're not catching it or seeing it, or maybe you don't think you need to manage your mind, or there's resistance to questioning your mind. There's something there because it's in a protection message. So all right, sending you so much love, Scorpio. If you'd like to book that free discovery call, go to empoweredwomenrise.com. And that's also where you can find out more about healing through the zodiac. You definitely don't want to miss this class. And it's so powerful. I teach you how to use astrology applicationally in your life to change your life, to heal the hurts, to overcome obstacles and blocks, to accomplish big things. And it's held in Sacred Feminine circle style. It's amazing. Women are just raving about it. So you can join us right now, and you can find out about everything over at empoweredwomenrise.com. Throw a like down this video. I appreciate you for being here. See you next time. Sagittarius, third house for you. And that Jupiter with that Uranus over in your sixth. Jupiter rules your sign in Taurus, expanding that Uranus in Taurus, ruling this new moon, ruling this Pluto. Mercury here too. Mercury's out of shadow, out of Capricorn, getting all the clarity. And this new moon definitely always, new vision, planting a seed, wishing moon. But this moon in Aquarius, and particularly for you in your third with Pluto here too, this push for new evolution, breaking down old mental constructs, to let in new ideas and ways of thinking about the world, and maybe getting rid of classification and identification for a short period of time to see what something really is, the essence of it, is all about clarification. The vision has been clarified. It's clear, the steps, the debris has been cleared. You know what to do, you know what the steps are to take. And there's this Uranus in your sixth is liberating you from some old lifestyle that you think you had to do, some old way of life, some health problem. Maybe you're having a health problem because you're not feeling your emotions, pushing them away, suppressing them. Maybe you're overcoming some health issue. Maybe you're finally living the lifestyle you wanted. Maybe you built one and it's time for a new one. Maybe it wasn't really, it was some lesson learned or part of the whole, but it wasn't really true to soul. So there's something here you're being really liberated from around like day-to-day life and what you think that has to be or should look like. And our health has to do with everything, right? It could be directly like health, right? or it could be very much how healthy you feel, how your sense of well-being, how good you feel day to day, based upon your moods, you're getting enough sleep, and if you are living the life you really want, if you're really on purpose and on mission. You do have Lilith and Juno in your tenths of soul mission. Lilith always about powerlessness and equality in relationships. So this this trine to Lilith from Jupiter, ruler of your sign, and this reclamation of power that's happening. There's clarity, vision, insight, and now it's standing in greater confidence in your soul mission, standing out on your platform, taking up more space, owning your voice, owning your light, what you're here to do, that you have a purpose, that it matters. And it's that up leveling, it's that upgrading, but the edge of evolution feels messy. It feels hard, challenging. Definitely there can be some challenges to feeling understood, wanting to speak your voice, feeling like people get you, understand you, of understanding the world, letting go of old ways of understanding the world that just aren't serving you anymore, and the disruption that can feel like. This new moon is definitely about intellectual property, creating your own intellectual property, owning it, knowing it's yours, your own unique ideas. It's about, traveling, vehicles, cars. Maybe you're getting a new car. This third house, it can be about movement and what's happening in your community, and building more community, meeting people in where you live, and maybe doing in-person things, not just online things. It's pushing some sense of new evolution here, and communication, understanding, connection, talking to people, but how you understand, embracing, stop being stuck in fixed ways of thinking everything, and embracing new experiences of life, putting new input, new data in there, and really having new experiences, getting creative, being open and friendly, connecting with people. You got the card Raw Intention, and it's wanting you to it's wanting you to let it be messy. It's wanting you to let go of orderliness to the point of unhelpfulness, right? That the ruler of your sign is in the sixth, next to Uranus, about disruption and breakdown, because it's the old ways are limiting your growth, limiting your full expression of your creativity and your particular genius and your magic. Raw Intention is letting it be electric and wild, and wild, raw. Befriend the word polarize. Realize that that you want to have a clear, definite talking point, opinion, idea, that is yours. When you own a business and have a platform, you need to have something to say that's your own unique material and information. You need to have something to say that is your what you're teaching, what you're bringing to the world, what's yours. You got to have an opinion. Right? It does, like, obviously in certain contexts and milieus you don't need to, or need to express it if you have it, but when it comes to your business and platform, like, there needs to be something you're teaching, something you believe in, something that is your point to put out to the world. I had somebody I was working with for a while, and they just had a really hard time with, like, they just so had an understanding of the gestalt of the Pisces, of the whole of the whole of the whole, the all that is in the highest levels. So having an opinion was really hard for them. We had to really work through that for them to realize, like, if you want to have a business, you need to have your own thing, your own brand. Like, you can't just, it's not yours if it's just somebody else's. So you got this card, befriend the word polarize. Like, you want to know who the haters are. You want, it's like when you get dislikes on YouTube, Thank you, it's engagement. Like, YouTube just looks at it as engagement. You know, you want to know, you know, there's gonna be haters when you stand up in the world as a light, when you stand up on your soul mission, when you own your no, when you speak your boundaries, there's gonna be haters, there's gonna be people who are mad or disappointed or have something to say. That you know that you are sparking. You know that you're sparking up other souls when you piss people off. And that is their stuff, that is not yours. So let's pull you another card, Sag. What wants to come up for Sag? Get back to the elemental and a protection message. So sleep hygiene, great nutrient dense food, you know, vitamin C, vitamin B, the things that nourish you, animals, pleasure, intellectual stimulation, curiosity, play, going, having fun, connection, love, hugs, you know, all those things that we need. Meditation, stillness. So get back to the elemental. If there's some resistance to it, maybe you're wired up, you know, all this energy is in your third. You know, you've got Pluto in Aquarius in your third, Mercury lit up in Aquarius in your third, you know, this new moon's in your third. It could be very electric, could be very ungrounding, could be up in the ethers, up in the atmosphere, just really in that airspace and not grounded. We all need to ground, learn grounding tools, make it a part of our lifestyle and routine. And the ruler of your sign is an earth sign, fixed earth sign. Uranus is an earth sign that rules all this Aquarius energy. We need to be grounded. We need to remember the earth, that we are human in a body, that we are soul in a body on the earth. And we need to be connected to everything that all that is, and not just be in the airspace and the ethers. With being in protection, there's some sort of difficulty there, resistance, maybe you don't want to sleep, or you know, there's some sort of difficulty going on there. So identify what that is so that you can then resolve it. Sending you lots of love. If you'd like to book a free discovery call with me, if there's something you want to change in your life, a free discovery call, you will find out what the real problem is, the solution, and the next step that you need to take to get there. And that is all free. You get clarity, the power of clarity, which is energy and motivation. It's so amazing. And that's a discovery call for my 6-month coaching program. And you can find out about Healing Through the Zodiac there. The amazing retreat, the online retreat that I'm teaching right now. You're not too late. The women were meeting weekly, and it's so powerful, so amazing, getting transformation. We're healing a lot of stuff, learning how to use astrology applicationally in your life. Please throw a like down in this video. I really appreciate it. All of that is over at empoweredwomenrise.com. Lots of love until next time, Sag. Capricorn, second house, new moon for you. New moon is a time of is a time of planting a seed, a new visioning. It's a wishing moon oftentimes, but this moon is very much ruled by Uranus and an earth sign, is a clarification. It's a clarification. Mercury is out of shadow, it's out of Capricorn, the ruler, your sign rather, and is now in Aquarius. It's this illumination, this clarification. We know the path, we know the mission, we know the steps to take. Now we have the challenge of actually taking them with Pluto here. Pluto's in your second, all about knowing your own resourcefulness, becoming self-reliant. Often we don't know how we're not self-reliant. Whatever's not working in your life, that's where you're not self-reliant. That's the difficulty of it. It's so easy to be disempowered. People are disempowered and they're not identifying it as disempowerment. So then you can't address it. When you don't know the problem is disempowerment, then you can't heal it, because it's easy to heal once you know. And it's easy to come out of that. But often people don't realize that they're actually being disempowered around, you know, a problem, something they're wanting to create, resolve, a situation that's happening. This is your money. This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, shelter, food, water, air. This is self-value, self-worth, self-esteem. This is creativity. This is harmonizing. This is this area of your life that's about money and material possessions. Are you glamorized by materialism? Do you think that's the end all be all? Are you letting go of stuff to go live in a schoolie? Are you downsizing? Are you realizing that there's things you want and you want to create that? Are you learning how to think about money in a really different way and really deprogramming all the money thought viruses in the culture to be a woman that has money? What are the seeds that's being planted here in your second house? This is also the house of going deeply inward to find your own strength, to come into contact and communion with your own strength and ability that you didn't even know you had. And so this can be a time where you're really seeking isolation or forced into it. People aren't available and aren't around. What the hell is going on? You know, you got Mars and Venus in your sign in your first house of identity. So some activation there. And, Saturn, the ruler of your sign, is in the third house of the mind, perception, communication, intellectual property, automobiles, and is in Pisces, the sign of divine love and compassion, creativity, and insanity, and the mystical and the madness, the psychic energetic realms. Like there's this pushing, your sign being in the psychic energetic realms is wanting you to come out of such a tangible see, taste, touch reality only. You're being activated to really get in touch with the spiritual values, the transcendental values, to really be more in the wave than particle, understanding what's possible, possibilities. This is really, really coming into contact with possibilities for you, and breaking free from a lot of the old stuck places. That mutability of that Pisces is wanting to decrystallize some old things that helped for a while, but now it's a stuckness, and wanting to shift that. We're going to pull you some cards. So definitely, there could be some seeds planted with money and things really blooming that you've been working on for a long time. This could be asking you to move in the direction of your dreams and the things you really want to create, and know that you can create it. And it's really about the will, like willing, like the belief, like as a fact, lead your own metamorphosis. It's wanting you to get with spirit and co-create together, to lead your metamorphosis, to know, this is wanting you to lead towards the goal. Like, don't be disempowered around the goal. Get clear on the actions you need to take to accomplish the goal. Be co-creating with spirit. Rise. It's wanting you to realize your power, realizing your capability. And that's what that second house is all about, is realizing how capable you are. Often we don't know how capable we are until we're provoked to figure it out. I have this quote on my Instagram that's, I have found my strength and resented finding it all along the way, because it was hard as fuck. Because you don't even know the strength you have until you're provoked to find it. And it's usually challenging. You have Pluto there. It is challenging. It is fear. It is, all of our emotions. So accept and receive. You have to be able to receive. It's like someone can give you a compliment, but can you take it in? Can you actually let it land within you and well up like appreciation within you? Can you receive love when someone gives you a hug? Do you feel, can you feel it on your skin and let it in? Or is there like a block there? Is your skin not really turned on? Tantric massage, we're talking about non-sexual. Tantric massage can turn your skin and your receptors on to actually have your body, because this is all second house for you, and it's an air sign in second house, and Aquarius, and it's an interesting thing we got going on here for you, Capricorn, that it's like maybe your body, the receptors in your skin tactile Taurus, second house, need to be turned back on so you can receive love, receive pleasure, feel sensations at the deepest levels. You know, accept and receive love, accept and receive money, accept and receive compliments, pleasure, gifts, friendships, connection, love, the gifts of the universe, insights, channeling. You know, what are you pushing away? There's something about you pushing it away. You are magic. It's wanting you to remember how capable you are, that you have everything inside of you, that you have magic to bring to this world, and that you are magic. It's a gift to be around you if you believe that, if you think so. The people that love you know that. You know, what do they see in you? So it's really connecting to that. All right, Capricorn, sending you so much love. Please throw a like down on this video. If you'd like to get into a free discovery call with me for my 6-month coaching program, you will absolutely get a transformation in that call. You will find out what the real problem is, the solution, and know your exact next step, and get that gift of clarity, which gives you energy and motivation. So you can book that at empoweredwomenrise.com. And it's also where you can find out more about Healing Through the Zodiac retreat, online retreat. It's happening right now. We're having sessions every week, and it's so powerful. You don't want to miss this because it's super reasonable too. I'm teaching the signs in a applicational, practical way. You can use them in your life. You get to know your own chart, how they're acting and functioning in your own personality in your life, so you can navigate your life to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I'm sending you lots of love. Throw a like down this video. Appreciate you being here, Capricorn. Aquarius, first house for you, blowing up, identity, personality, appearance, how you deal with threat, loving yourself, your ego, personality. There's a lot of activation here, huge activation. If this is your rising sign, this is a new evolutionary cycle starting. You will not be the same person after this transit. You know, Pluto is about transmutation, not transformation. Transmutation is being a completely different thing. Transformation is just being the same thing that has shifted. Transmutation is completely different. You know, sugar turning into a cake, transmutation. The butterfly, you know, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. I kind of hate that example because we're so used to it that we almost don't realize how absolutely like inspiring, magical, like just how amazing it is. So I'm trying to find like new examples of transmutation versus transformation, but getting to the point, the ruler of your sign squaring this new moon in your 4th house, all about inner security and emotional security. Been blowing this up for a minute. Everybody rolls their eyes every time I say this, but I'm telling you, it's the alpha and omega. It's how you get everything you want. It's how you heal every wound. It's how you have wisdom and humility, accomplishment. It is how you will evolve and be in the light. It is the answer to everything. Inner security, man, emotional security, emotional empowerment. I'll tell you, there's nothing better than that because it is the answer to everything. It solves every problem. It accomplishes every goal. It is the root. It is the foundation. It's the root of the root of the root. And if you don't work with the foundation, if your foundation is shit, then everything you build upon that is not actually solid at all. And will fall apart, have holes in it, have problems, issues will come, something will happen there, right? So the ruler of your sign is in Taurus, Earth, all about the body, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all about your own gifts and talents and abilities, all about building something for the future, Aquarius. You are future oriented, but it's all about your own ingenuity, innovations, the positive side of Aquarius, and embracing your uniqueness. And to embrace your uniqueness, you have to have inner security and emotional security. And this Taurus is about, you know, feeling secure, but are you feeling secure based on emotional empowerment, which is real, true security? It's the only way we can have it. Or are you feeling secure based on externals that can be removed from you at any moment? Car, house, money, job, relationship, etc. We think things are so secure, but that's what Uranus is trying to teach us in Taurus right now, is that what you think, you know, is a definite won't be there tomorrow. People are trying to get, you know, Uranus is trying to shake us up out of our old thinkings of what security is based upon, so that we can be a truly secure species that can then really create magical things in the world. You are meant to show the world what individuality really is, the sacred activist really is, what individuation and liberation really mean. This is super planting a seed in your who you are-ness, your identity, your very like character of your soul in this life. And Pluto here, there's some challenge with it. Maybe there's fear. Maybe you've been dealing with being sick. Mercury is bringing huge clarity here, though. There's huge clarity. There's been some revelations, some understandings, and capitalize on that and really launch forward. But the thing is that we can really be in our mind. We don't want to be in our mind too much, want to feel our emotions, learn that skill. All of my clients come to accomplish big goals, but they learn the skill of emotions, emotional empowerment. And I'm telling you, everything you want is on the other side of that. And your reading is the ruler of your sign is in your fourth. So it's pushing you to that. You are light. So have you been like self-deprecating? Are you resisting compliments? Are you not seeing your value? Do you not know that you have something to give to the world, that you're here to bring a gift, that your thread in the tapestry is so important? It's wanting you to understand that you are light yourself. Like you are a light, you are a spark in the darkness that lights up other people by speaking, being a role model, being an example by the way you live your life, by who you choose to be in this world. My friend was talking about the other day that if they had certain things, they might be caught up in that instead of like helping humanity. And what was crazy to me is like the thing that they said they would be caught up in is creativity and art. And I'm like, yeah, but that could be the very thing that humanity needs the most. Like they're not separate, like they're not two different things really. Like we don't know what humanity means. And that's why if you just follow your light, follow your spark, follow your heart, that is what is supposed to light up humanity naturally. You bring it to the world. You are the muse. You have to like inspire yourself and realize that you are the inspiration. Realize that you're the inspiration that inspires other people and gets them moving on their purpose, and knowing that they're can be empowered and their greatness, and that they have something worthy to offer. You got creator fire and a protection message. There's something here about your reading where it's like the guides are wanting you to remember that you are a spark in the darkness. Remember your light, and don't get bogged down in all the darkness, the hardship, the difficulty, the challenge. Remember that you are an inspiration to this world. The world needs you, and creator fire to take action. Don't just be in your mind. You got to take action, make it real, make it tangible. One step after another creates the thing. You write 2,200 words a day, you have a book. And not too long. It doesn't 6 months. I mean, it's just like, just take actions and it adds up to something. Creator fire is putting yourself out there, being self-possessed, being confident, being willing to be vulnerable, to speak your heart. There's something here. It's in a protection message saying that that's hard for you. You're having a hard time being enthusiastic, being playful, finding joy. Joy is so important. Creativity is so important. Creatively self-actualize and take your will to create your destiny. Like there's something here about that enthusiasm and that passion, that spark, that there's a resistance to it, or not understanding how important it is, not prioritizing it. My guides hammer upon the importance of joy. They will, every time I think I need to be working more, harder, whatever, they're always pushing me to joy, because then the work comes naturally. All right, I'm sending you so much love, Aquarius. If you'd like to book a free discovery call with me for my 6-month coaching program, there's something you want to accomplish in your life, or something you want to heal, you can book that free discovery call at empoweredwomenrise.com. You will absolutely know what the actual problem is, the solution to that problem, and your exact next step. You will get the gift of clarity, which gives you energy and direction and motivation. And you can book that on empoweredwomenrise.com. It's also where you can find out about healing through the zodiac. It's my 12-week online course right now. It's happening right now. You're not late. There's replays, if you can't make it one week, it's amazing. Women are just raving about it, really getting powerful shifts and using astrology applicationally in their life, finding all out about their own astrology, their own personal natal birth chart. Nobody teaches astrology like this. It's so much fun. It's all over at empoweredwomenrise.com. Please throw a like down this video. I appreciate you being here, Aquarius. All right, Pisces, let's do this. 12th house for you, new moon. 12th house is past lives, Pisces. Could be bringing up a ton of old weird stuff, trauma, past life, shadow that is wanting to be released, healed, worked with, transformed, transmuted. Pluto is here in your 12th. Bum, bum, bum. Very much, an activation of energetic psychic gifts, reclaiming your power energetically. It's an energetic reclamation of power, because energetically we can be so swayed by other people's moods and attitudes and energy that glommed onto them, some negative energy that's making them like shitty. We really need to be energetically empowered as a species, and nobody really understands that world and it understands what that even means or how to do it. It's like the invisible, intangible realms, the psychic realms, the energetic realms. Like, we need to be energetically taking a shower every single week, every day. We take a shower every day, and if we don't, we'll get a bacteria infection, right? So if you don't take an energetic shower every day, what happens? You get energies that glom onto you, they change your mood, they hijack your mind. Pretty soon you're thinking, your thinking's in the gutter, you're not taking action, not creating what you want in life, you're kind of escaping, coping, bam, right? Like, this is what happens. We need to understand how important the energetics realm is, that we need to take care of our energy, and cleanse it and protect it and learn it, just like we need to clean our body, clip our toenails, get a haircut, etc. So same thing. This is really blowing you up, wanting evolution, wanting you to reclaim your power here. Mercury bringing so much clarity. Mercury is out of shadow. It's out of Capricorn. The ruler of your sign, Neptune in your first house of identity, wanting you to very clearly, your ego, to discern truth from falsehood. The ego is very easily duped and tricked, programmed, and it's wanting, it's been here wanting you to be able to know truth from falsehood. So you might have had a lot of experiences to learn that lesson. Also Neptune about higher consciousness, transcendental values. Is your identity, your ego personality, coming from the understanding of the highest of the high, understanding of all of life, all that is, transcendental values, not glamorized by materialism and so forth. This new moon in Aquarius is square the ruler Uranus in your third, wanting you to be reclaiming power over your own mind, all of your thoughts, not be at the mercy of your own thinking, learning how to think deliberately, think consciously, question your own mind to see if those thoughts are serving you or not. What are they creating? And to be empowered at the highest levels, but can be a lot of fixed ideas, fixed ways of seeing things, or thinking it's definitely this way. And Uranus can often provide the breakdown to break through, or the disruption of those old ways, so that something new can be birthed, something new can be come in. So you can be liberated from old stuck ways of thinking or seeing the world, or old ways of, creating money or valuing yourself. There's something wanting to birth, like, how do you value yourself? Like, I don't let just anybody have access to me. Only people that treat me well get access to me. Only people that want to be in a reciprocal relationship. Only people that, are, kind, nice, loving, empathetic, etc. And I mean, that's one way I value myself. One way I value myself is giving myself like the highest nutrient dense food and taking care of my body and my appearance and taking care of my soul, like giving myself, feeding my joy, feeding my light, feeding my creativity, my fun. This is your creative sign. You can be very silent and isolated sometimes. Like this is wanting to remove the shadow, integrate the shadow, clear out the isolation, be willing to come out into the world and to be with others. That sensitivity that you might think is sensitivity is actually awareness, but it's like, how do you interpret it correctly? How do you have ethics with it? How do you not take it on and just use it as a dashboard of information? Like use it as a Rosetta Stone, like information, instead of taking it on and feeling it as if it's yours. There's a lot of skill set here. Pluto's giving you the opportunity to grow and develop the skill set. This new moon here is planting a seed, birthing something new. It's a new vision. However, it's a clarification new moon. We've gotten clarity. We understand the steps. We know what to do. We know the next steps. Pluto here, it can be challenging. You can be afraid. Past life stuff can be coming up and disrupting the process. We got the square to Uranus. All of our thoughts about it could be really like keeping us from taking action. The other, ruler of your sign is in Taurus as well. Next, co-present with Uranus in the third. It's this expansion and this disruption happening in the way that you think, communicate, and your flow, because it's wanting you to come from intuition. It's wanting to reorganize your operating system of your being, of who you are, how you create, what you do, to come from feminine flow and intuition versus the mind thinking, have to's. This is these stuck ways of thinking that this is how you do things. And this is a culmination. This is ending and concluding some old chapter and beginning a new one. So this is a huge activation of a new chapter, and you might not know exactly what that is and what that shakes out to be until, a little while from now, a couple weeks or so. It might become really clear at the full moon. So this is something big. This way comes, like, so this is not just a small one, there is something that's completing here, and it can bring up a lot of crap. This could have been depending on when you're watching this could be a hard couple weeks leading up to this new moon. So just be aware of that it's bringing up things to heal, to resolve. And if you want to do that work with an expert, you can book a free discovery call with me. I'm going to pull you some cards, Pisces. This is exactly what I help my clients with. But if you've been wanting to accomplish some big things or deal with that stuff and heal completely, you can book a free discovery call with me at empoweredwomenrise.com for my 6-month coaching program. You will absolutely get clarity in that free discovery call, which gives you motivation and energy and direction. So you will absolutely know what your next step is. That's empoweredwomenrise.com. Well, let's pull you some cards, Pisces. What wants to come up for Pisces? Okay. There we go. Fearless expression. So here's the thing about it, is that there might be things on the energetic plane that are stopping your fearless expression. Maybe you are fearlessly expressive. You have fearless expression. It's just who you are. But like, things are coming up from past lives. Things are coming up from the subconscious, that 12th house, Pluto there. Pluto reveals secrets and churns things up from the subconscious. And, past lives in Aquarius, it's past lives. 12th house is past lives. And Aquarius is everything that's known. So Uranus is, so it's this, there could be resistance to and things stopping you that you just need to do some energetic cleansing on and some healing on, and some coaching work. And I work with my clients with that. So it's this fearless self-expression. Just know that you have that. What's blocking you might be a really easy thing to resolve, but it's wanting you to step into that, to face whatever's the block, if there is one. You are light. It's reminding you that you are a light yourself. It sparks other lights in the world. It's so important that you put it out there in the world and be that. Show up as that. Show up as your beautiful self. Show up happy. Show up playful. Be in that energy, and feed it. Do whatever it takes to have your light shine at the highest levels for you to be happy and invigorated. Welcome the divine masculine. It's in a protection message that maybe there's triggers, maybe that there is just things coming up and you got to work through those, but it's the structures, allowing structure to be a good positive thing and do it in the way that works for you. I don't do schedules like someone might think you should do a business schedule. I do what works for me. When I first started my business, everyone wanted to meet with me in the morning, 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. And it's like, that is not the time for me to meet with other humans. I meet with humans in my afternoon. That's the right time for me. And I had to just set my mind that that was what I do. And people that want to meet with me any other time, I guess they're not for me or whatever. But so it's like, don't be afraid of structure. Don't be afraid of that part of yourself that can protect you and stand up and can be this presence, maybe it's too much masculine energy and you're not stepping into your sacred feminine, it's a protection message. So maybe you're scared of, maybe you're really coming with that overbearing masculine, dominance energy from the overculture, and it's like letting that go and realizing it's not protecting you. It's not protecting you. It's holding you back from your real authentic sacred feminine expression. Creator Earth, take the action, make the moves. You got to do it. Just one action leads to another, to another, to another. But it's like making things tangible, creating results, knowing that you can, taking the actions. You got to do it. You can do this. So absolutely, you're capable. You're powerful. You got this, Pisces. Like, that fear can come up and it's okay. External validation, you don't need it. And also be willing to listen to your audience and what maybe you need to do to build your channels or your social media or something like that. It's a little bit of a both here, and using it properly, but not needing it for approval. Find your sacred flow. It's really being connected to your intuition, getting out of your head. What do you need to do? Do you need to dance or move or stretch to get into that? What helps your connection to the divine co-creation? What helps your channel? What helps your connection to it all? So really getting clear about that. If you'd like to book that free discovery call, go to empoweredwomenrise.com. That's also where you can find out more about healing through the zodiac, my free 12-week online, it's not free, sorry, my 12-week online retreat. That is very reasonable. It should be a lot more. And the women that are in that container, it's so amazing. We're just having so much fun. You're not late for it. There's replays if you need to miss a week. We're just having so much fun, and it's so reasonable. And nobody teaches astrology like this to practically, applicationally use it in your life. I hope that there's a free masterclass that is kind of the like class zero kind of on my YouTube. So just go subscribe there and make sure you throw a like down this video, subscribe to my channel, and you can watch that masterclass. That is what you need to have watched for the retreat. And if you come join us, you'll get it in the email anyways. But so much fun. So I hope to see you there. Women are signing up, and we're getting to really connect and create kind of deep bonds. So I hope to see you there. Sending you lots of love. I really appreciate you being here, and see you next time.